Howdy, 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 ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Hollywood After Dark, episode number 18 for the 8th of July, 2021. Today is a huge day. Marvel Studios back in theaters, first time 2 years. And apparently it's blowing things up. We're going to talk about that. Henry Cavill, new Bond-esque type movie, and a lot more here tonight. Hollywood After Dark, let's go. Hey everyone, how you guys doing? Hope everyone is doing well tonight. This is Thursday night. We're getting close to the end of the week. It's almost, thank God it's Friday. Although for quite a lot of people out there, who really knows how this weekend's going to go? I don't know if you're going to be going to the movies. You're going to be checking stuff out. Fast 9 is still doing really, really well. Black Widow opens up. A lot of people are going to be going to see that. I've seen reports, oddly enough, I've seen very weird reports that apparently the movie's going to flop. That's what I've been hearing. I've been hearing again, right? We're seeing that whole thing once again, that Disney, that rumor, that accusation that Disney is now purchasing tickets for Black Widow, just like they did with Captain Marvel, because there's no way that movie made $1 billion. I'm just saying that's what's going on right now. I'm hearing those reports today. I've seen those come out, and you know from who they're coming out from. You know what side of the aisle. All right, what scum-filled pond that's coming out of. I don't need to remind you where that's coming out of, but that's what's going on tonight. So obviously, here's the thing real quick before we dive into everything. I do want to give a quick shout out to my members, the channel members, the saviors of the channel. Obviously, you guys are the true MVPs. I really appreciate everyone coming on in and hanging out and supporting the channel. And that's always great. I love you all very much. But like I said, at the end of this month, I'm going to be moving things over to the Hollywood After Dark YouTube channel, complete with this new nice spiffy banner that I made. And you guys can check it out at youtube.com/Hollywood After Dark. Go subscribe to it over there. Starting August 1st, that is where all of the magic is going to take place. And I've been honest with you guys. The reason why I'm doing that has a lot to do with the fact that live streaming, as long as I do live stream for, ends up messing with the algorithm. So I want to do more things like talking about Loki with my friends or other shows that are on in order to get people in on the discussion there and then not have it entirely bogged down by everything else. Also, just because we're in kind of the promo phase right now, but it's almost over, I promise you. Patio commentary is back. For the Tomorrow War, episode is done in the can. It is exported, and it will be up on youtube.com/Patio commentary tomorrow. So I am moving that back to its own channel as well. I thought I could consolidate everything. Turns out that's a bad idea. So we're diversifying, not all eggs in one basket. But it is coming back tomorrow. I have, here's the thing with Tomorrow War. That was a chore. I'll be honest with you guys. I put together this brief little preview to give you an idea of what to expect for tomorrow. If you guys are wanting something to listen to on your way to and from work, it's only like 13 and 14 minutes long. It's one of the shorter ones. And partly that had to do with the fact that there wasn't a lot of available information. So I had to really dig for enough of a framework of how everything came together. But here, give this a listen. Dean has also confirmed that the story of the movie is a global warming metaphor, but he didn't want it to be too political. However, some reviews have pointed out that the messaging is a bit on the nose, and it remains to be seen if that will have any impact on the film's longevity or not. Now, getting Chris Pratt on board was also something of a lookout for the film. When the film was first announced back in 2019, Pratt was supposed to be working on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, but because of the James Gunn controversy in July 2018, he suddenly found himself with a lot more free time. Yeah, there we go. A little snippet right there. Wet your whistle, wet your beak. I don't know. It's not the most like even I'm listening back on like, you can tell I'm reading. It's unfortunate. I like this more free-flowing approach to conversations. It just gets, I'm writing it. First time back in a while. However, We'll be definitely talking about that probably tonight. I haven't seen the movie yet. I wrote about it, but I haven't watched it yet. But that's kind of okay. I'm going to watch it probably tomorrow after I watch Black Widow, because I didn't go see Black Widow tonight either. So then the final thing before we dive in, is for people who donate via Super Chat or become a channel member or patron this month, I will be giving away a Life. This is a physical magazine, 40 Years Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark. This is a cool magazine that has all sorts of indie trivia, indie tidbits in there, and a lot of fun stuff on that. So I'll be giving that away at the end of the month. So if you guys want to get in on the action, you know what to do. Help support the channel, and that way I can do more of these giveaways. It's not a movie, but it's something tangible. I'll have it mailed right to your home, and that's going to be that. So I did drop the StreamYard link that is pinned in the chat right now. And so here is the thing is I want to keep it on point with what I'm going to be talking about. So there are people in the back room right now. We're going to give people more time to come on in and wait. I want to get people's takes on what I cover, because I feel like that might keep it more streamlined. So if you want to come and talk about like other things that aren't related to the topics, I'm probably going to cut your reel short, and that's not to be a jerk, but I just want to keep things streamlined and on point, because I realize that it ends up kind of going all sorts of different ways. So I appreciate everyone holding off in the back there. Don't worry, I will get to you guys here. But why don't we dive into like really kind of like the top story of the day? And that has everything to do with this new big movie. All right, this new huge movie coming in from from Matthew Vaughn. And Matthew Vaughn is one of my absolute all-time favorite directors. And so here's what Deadline is reporting today. Henry Cavill, Sam Rockwell, Bryce Dallas Howard, Bryan Cranston, Dua Lipa, Samuel L. Jackson, John Cena, Catherine O'Hara, set for a new Matthew Vaughn spy franchise. This isn't even just a movie. This is actually a franchise. It is a trilogy of books. And here's the kicker, guys. Here's the absolute kicker. The very first one is not even out yet until next year, but they're already adapting it with this kind of cast. And the thing is, it's apparently very Bond-like. And Henry Cavill, from what I can gather, is the lead. So are we finally going to get a Henry Cavill type Bond movie? And I think so. And I know they did that with The Man from U.N.C.L.E. back in 2015, where he played Napoleon Solo. And that is a vastly, vastly underrated film, in my opinion. And I'm really excited to see what they do with this, because Matthew Vaughn, in my mind, is probably one of the absolute greatest filmmakers out there right now. I love this guy. I know people out there kind of criticize the Kingsman Golden Circle, but if the best way to describe it's like this: Kingsman is like Gentleman Spy, James Bond, Sean Connery ripoff, whereas Golden Circle is more over the top Roger Moore era James Bond. So if you think about it from that perspective, it does kind of open it up a little bit more and make it a little bit more interesting as time goes on. But anyway, let's find out more here. Matthew Vaughn has set an all-star cast for his next big budget action project, which will start shooting in August. ARGYLLE, which Vaughn will direct and produce via Marv, will star Henry Cavill. We already gone through the cast. Pop star Dua Lipa will be making her acting debut. And I don't know, this is the thing I don't get. Like every time there's like a singer or a pop star that like makes an appearance in one of these movies, and all the trades lose their mind over it, all their panties just get soaked to hell. I'm like, come on, guys. Quite frankly, no one cares. No one cares. No one cares. Like, just cast who you're going to cast. Let them do the promotion to their audience. Don't make a big deal about this, because at the end of the day, a lot of like Henry Cavill fans, Catherine O'Hara fans, John Cena fans, Sam Rockwell fans, Sam Jackson fans, Matthew Vaughn fans are not going to sit there and go, man, I really want to see the Dua Lipa first time acting premiere in a movie. They're not going to care. They're not going to care. But here's where it gets interesting. The film is based on the soon-to-be launched spy novel ARGYLLE from Ellie Conway, which follows the world's greatest spy, ARGYLLE, as he's caught up in a globe-trotting adventure. This will be the first of at least 3 films in the franchise. Check that. Of at least 3 films in the franchise and is set in America, London, and multiple locations across the world. Conway's debut thriller is scheduled to be published in a major launch in 2022 by Transworld Publishing, which is a division of Penguin Random House. So here's the thing. The book isn't even done, or it's not out yet. I mean, guaranteed the manuscript is done at this point. They're just waiting for the worldwide launch in next year, but they're already starting to shoot the movie, and the book isn't even out yet. And you don't hear about that as much anymore. Usually these books got to come out and they have to develop a very solid fan base, and then that gets them picked up from one of the people out there. But no, I'm just saying it was like, this is not the case on this. So anyway, Kingsman director will direct from a script by Jason Fuchs, who wrote Wonder Woman. Vaughn's regular peeps are involved, obviously. Now, Matthew Vaughn did comment here. And he said, when I read this early draft manuscript, I felt it was the most incredible and original spy franchise since Ian Fleming's books of the 50s. This is going to reinvent the spy genre. And I mean, and they're not talking about it from a parody perspective, because here's the thing with Ian Fleming's books. They're dry. They're very dry. That's not a bad thing. I think it works for the kind of story he wants to tell. It's kind of like Tom Clancy was an insurance adjuster or something along those lines before he got into writing the books that he wrote, which is why they're very technical in detail. Fleming wrote, at least read Casino Royale. It's a very dry book, but it's good. It's very good. Nowhere near as action-packed as the 2006 movie made it out to be. Believe me, Vesper's death in the book, way different from the movie. Spoiler alert, she still dies. But in the movie, she drowns while he's trying to save her. In the book, she just straight kills herself because she's in love with Bond and her husband, and she kills herself because she's being blackmailed. Same concept, but total kind of like bitch way out, in my opinion. Now, the CEO of Marv, Ziggy Kamasa, says here, we are delighted that we will be starting our fourth and by far the biggest feature film production since the start of the global pandemic. It demonstrates both our desire to scale up our production activity and our ambition to continue to launch new franchises beyond the Kingsman series of films. They're in post-production on Tetris, starring Taron Egerton, which is coming out for Apple. What the hell? Tetris is the thing, by the way. They're doing a Tetris movie. I don't know, but I'll tell you this though. See, when you have the comment from the person there, and the comment says, "Hey, we want to be something different than Kingsman," it goes to show you that not all is well in the Kingsman world. Because remember, Kingsman, The King's Man, which is now slated for December of this year, was supposed to come out in September of last year. It was then pushed to February of this year, and then now it's been pushed to the end of the year, with Disney pushing it out via 20th Century Studios. Matthew Vaughn is supposedly coming back to direct a third Kingsman movie to wrap up Eggy in the storyline with Colin Firth's character, whose name I can't remember right now. But to wrap up that storyline, there's apparently like a TV series in somewhat early development that's going to be taking place. It's The Statesman, dealing with the American side of the spy game. And I feel like with the pandemic, and I feel like the way Disney's been restructuring everything at this point in time, it probably is going to be more like those are going to maybe take a bit of a back burner. And they're going to focus on this new ARGYLLE franchise that they're going to have full control over and not have to worry about Disney coming on in and mucking about. Because I have a feeling, because of the kind of movies Matthew Vaughn likes to make, that they may not want to play in that world as much anymore, because they don't want to have as much violent content, because it might sully the name of Disney, which we all know is a load of crap. So hold on. Mladen here says that Tetris is a biopic about making Tetris. What? Okay, that actually makes some sense. Anyway, I don't know, man. I don't know. Listen, if I haven't seen day. But yeah, obviously I'm excited for this, to be fair. I really am excited for this, to be fair, because I feel like what we're going to be getting out of this is going to be a fun movie. And Matthew Vaughn is just an amazing filmmaker. And this is one that I am very, very, very excited to see. So why don't we move over into the next story here? And this is something that was coming out today. Dwayne Johnson, Gal Gadot, Ryan Reynolds Netflix action movie sets release date. This is one that I've really been waiting for because Red Notice has been something that is, I think, going to kind of make or break how much money Netflix spends on some of these movies, to be honest with you. Now, Dwayne Johnson made the news official across the social media today, saying that November 12th is going to be the day that Red Notice comes out to Netflix. But I do think that it will also get a theatrical release. It's too much money. Red Notice is arguably the biggest feature commitment by the streaming giant at $130 million. I originally heard, when I heard about this story, like I heard about Red Notice getting snagged up for like 225 million or something like that, you know? So that's one of those things where I'm like, I don't quite know. When I saw, hold on, I'll Google it real quick. When I saw, so Daily Mail is saying here that Netflix rolls out its release date for Red Notice, its most expensive film ever, with an eye-popping budget of $200 million. But Deadline here is reporting that it's $130 million, although I'm wondering if there's a $70 million investment from whoever else is on the back end of this. If Legendary is going to be covering it, I don't know. But we got this this great image here of all of them. I'll just hold on. I'll bring it up on this. This is a good image. This is a good looking image of these guys right here. I think it's going to be a fun movie to see what's going on. And I mean, obviously, you know, Ryan looks great. He's going to be the world's greatest con man. I'm assuming that Gal is the world's greatest art thief, and The Rock is the FBI's top profiler. And this is from Thurston Marshall. I can never pronounce the guy's name. He also went on to go and direct. He did a bunch of the Rock's movies. So this is going to be a big film. Rawson Marshall Thurber, that's his name. This is going to be a pretty big film. I don't know if it's going to be something that's ultimately going to end up making or breaking Netflix on this one. But, I cut out. Oh, I cut out for a little bit. Damn. It's not showing me slowing down on my end at all. So if it cuts out, it's on that. Anyway. Alvy here says, remember, Netflix bought the sequels to Knives Out for $400 million. They're not against spending big money. Yeah, I guess that's true. But that's buying two movies and not just one movie, which is a little bit different there, a little bit different. So obviously, we'll have to wait and see on that one. I just thought that was kind of cool to see what's going to be happening with Red Notice. I'm waiting for a trailer. And I say this because like the last Ryan Reynolds movie that went to Netflix, Six Underground, the Michael Bay directed movie, I did not think was very good. It had a lot of talent behind it. It had a lot of big names behind it, but the movie, it just fell kind of flat and it felt so rushed. It felt like it was a series that they cut into a movie, and like the first season of a show that they cut into a movie, and it just wasn't very good. And I don't know. I'm a little, and the Netflix stuff kind of is hit or miss some days. So it is something there to consider. We don't quite know everything just yet. All right. Okay. So I did cut out for a second there. Thank you very much, TW, for that. Damn it. The StreamYard. I got my new stuff. It's not telling me it cut out, but StreamYard is being StreamYard. And honestly, it's just, it's effing annoying, guys. It's really, really, really effing annoying. All right. So I want to talk about this piece today. And this, of course, is going to be all about our friend Stan Lee. Now, Stan Lee passed away a little while ago, obviously. But one of the things that everyone really seems to love, of course, is Marvel Studios putting in the Stan Lee cameo. Everyone loves the Stan Lee cameo. So the Stan Lee cameo is something that is kind of a staple for these movies, but there's now a new policy on this, and they've effectively banned them. And that's okay. So Stan Lee cameos are now no more. Now, like I said, the guy's been dead for a while. All right. Like the guy's been dead for a while, but this is coming in from that new The Good, the Bad, and the Loki short film that just went up the other day on Disney Plus. So Simpsons showrunner Al Jean revealed that Marvel wouldn't allow a new cameo from the late Stan Lee, saying here that they had Stan Lee audio from when he was on their show from past episodes, but Marvel made their policy clear and said Lee doesn't cameo now that he's passed away. He made it clear that he and his team respect that these franchises have great power beyond theirs in terms of storytelling. Now, I'll read you guys the full quote here in a second, but real quick though, it's like, the Stan Lee Twitter account's still really active, right? And every time it tweets, someone's out there attacking it and attacking it and attacking it, saying like, no, delete this, you ghoul. And people really hate that the damn thing is tweeting, especially when it tweeted about Captain Marvel. My God, never mind, there was an actual Stan Lee cameo in that film. And so it's one of those things where, I can, if they were to put Stan Lee in something, I think people would really freak out, and not in a good way. And so I'm kind of okay with this. So Al Jean says, we just thought, oh, we have Stan Lee audio from when he was on our show. Could we cameo him in? And they said their policy is that he doesn't cameo now that he's passed away, which is a completely understandable policy. That was their only note, and that, of course, was easily done. And the Grogu note for the Star Wars theme short made total sense, too. It was like, if you let everybody use Grogu in their stuff that they wanted to, it would be all over. Believe me, I respect that these franchises have great power beyond ours. I respect it. So obviously what that shows, and what I find to be very, very kind of interesting and intriguing on that front, has everything to do with the fact that Marvel and Lucasfilm are aware of what either like their hot properties are and what is kind of off limits, what's a no-no. And so if their hot properties are something like, let's say, Grogu, because Grogu is an extremely hot property, they are going to want to be very careful with where Grogu pops up, which is kind of weird because the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special did have a cameo from Mando, IG-11, and Grogu, which was great. And I love that little bit, but they had it there, but not in the Good, the Bart, and the Loki. That to me is a little bit weird. That to me is a little bit different. So I'm wondering kind of like, is it because this is a Simpsons thing and it's maybe they just didn't want to have it appear to be too comedic or something? They didn't want to devalue Grogu. When they did The Simpsons, The Force Awakens from a snap. Honestly, that would have probably made that short film a lot better. It was cute to watch one time, and then after that, it got kind of lazy. I haven't seen The Good, the Bart, and the Loki yet. I'll give that a watch tonight, probably before I watch Bad Batch. And yeah, I mean, I get the Stan Lee stuff. I mean, it kind of sucks. Like, are we ever going to get is there going to be like any kind of imaging in the background? I mean, would you guys be okay if there was like some reference to Stan somewhere? I think like a blatant like Peter Cushing-esque type cameo like they did in Rogue One, I would be against that if I'm being honest with you guys. I would absolutely be against that. But if it's just like a poster in the background, like I think it was in Daredevil season, no, it was Luke Cage season 1, had Stan Lee as a cop, like he was on a poster as a cop in the background of one of the shots. That wouldn't be that big of a deal. But unfortunately, this is something that's going to be a little bit on the interesting side, and we'll have to wait and see. Now, Min here says, didn't they record footage of Stan to use many years down the line? No, they only brought him in to do the final 4 cameos. That's what they got him to do. They shot all 4 at once because they knew what they were doing, and that is what they did. So they had pre-done multiples, but they knew that they were going to run out before the end of the phase. I mean, the guy was getting up there in years, and yeah, he loved his cameos. We all loved his cameos. I like that in Guardians 2, they kind of said he's a watcher. So it kind of like showcases why all those cameos happened, which was pretty cool. But at the same time, it's really sad that he has, really kind of passed, that he's just, it's sad that he's passed on, and it's sad that we'll never see him again. So it's kind of like, I agree with Starship Trooper here. Poster, yes. CGI, tacky. Yeah, I think that's okay. So, all right, why don't we jump into the last topic before we get to the open calls? And that is just one here that I find to be interesting. And I know the ending of the movie, it's already kind of been spoiled for me. So for me, it's not going to be a big issue. But if we're going to be talking about here, the Tomorrow War 2. The Tomorrow War 2, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently, Hollywood loves its blockbusters. And they love their sequels and they love their franchises. And that, of course, is where we find ourselves on this particular story. So coming in from JoBlo.com, it says here that per deadline, it's expected that the whole creative team will return for a sequel. This includes Chris McKay, screenwriter Zach Dean. It stars Chris Pratt, Yvonne Strahovski, Betty Gilpin, J.K. Simmons, and a bunch of other people. Paramount is also part of the conversation as the studio was originally going to release the film before it sold to Amazon. Now, that is kind of fast. And the thing is, I like this comment here. Wow, talk about a quick turnaround. I suppose it's best to strike while the iron is piping hot. And then, but here's the thing. Amazon purchased the Tomorrow War for $200 million. All right. And in the upcoming episode that I'll be releasing tomorrow of Podio Commentary, I do talk about that a little bit, and I'll give you guys a quick bit of history on that. So what happened essentially is that Skydance Pictures, they're the ones who put up the money, really, like the majority of the money to finance the Tomorrow War, and they made the distribution deal with Paramount. Paramount kept rescheduling the movie because of COVID. And as a result of that, the financiers that backed the investors that backed the Tomorrow War, they wanted their money. And since movie theaters are still very much kind of hit or miss, and they still take their 60%, this is one of those a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush kind of situations where they screened the Tomorrow War for all the streamers, and Amazon dropped the $200 million. And according to Chris Pratt, it is now the most streamed movie in the world at this point in time. Although Samba TV says like 2.4 million people in the US. I don't quite know how many worldwide. They're not giving us those numbers. They're just saying that it is the number one stream movie in the world. But that's a bit of a rundown of what happened. And I talk about that and other things in the episode. So look for that tomorrow morning over on youtube.com/Podio Commentary. But if you guys have seen this, doesn't it kind of like the ending kind of like solidify that a sequel is kind of weird? But then again, I keep hearing comparisons to Edge of Tomorrow, and they're apparently working on that. So I don't know. I don't know. Now, Alvi here says Paramount is always selling films to streaming services. Yeah, because it's better for them than going up against in the box office. They need franchises to work well. What Paramount needs to do is start curating smaller content that is cheaper to make and that can go further. And they should really get into horror. Honest to God, Paramount should get into horror and just do that for a while, and they'll make a lot of freaking money. But there we go. So anyway, 187 here says 6 out of 10. It's okay. That's kind of what I've been hearing, but also a lot of people I've talked to have really enjoyed the movie. And obviously it's something that Amazon has felt that has done well. And so Amazon at this point is definitely wanting to push it for the long haul, I guess. I think this is going to be another franchise for them. I really do. So anyway, those are the topics I really wanted to cover today in the first half hour here. So thank you guys very much. Let me just take a quick look here at the super chats. We got $2 from HBart saying #simp for Sylvie. You got one more week of that, buddy, and then you're going to be on your own. But that's fantastic. Mo Moon here, $2. Thank you. Says Blue Notice will be the sequel to Red Notice. I don't know, man. I think Burn Notice should be the sequel to Red Notice, and then tie in that universe and give us more Bruce Campbell and Michael Weston. Okay, I want more Michael Weston. And then HBart's here, $2 more, says, didn't Stan Lee want to live on? Yeah, but I mean, he's lived on. But I think at this point, it becomes like kind of grotesque in how they want to do it. Alvi here asking, is Disney in control of Stan Lee's social media? No, the Stan Lee Foundation is in control of Stan Lee's social media. There's actually a company there with employees and a lot of other people. So that, of course, is what's going on with that one. All right, so here's the deal, guys. Now that we're getting into the call-in portion of the show, I have the link posted in the chat. I'm going to post it one more time. So the rules of the road are this: come on in and have a comment on the topics covered tonight, and then we can maybe cover something else that you want to ask or whatever. But let's keep it on point as much as possible. Although there are some people right off the bat that I just want to bring in because I just enjoy their company, and that, of course, is RJ. How you doing, RJ?
Doing pretty good, Matt. Doing pretty good. Glad to be here.
Thank you very much. And then, of course, TW has been here since the beginning, and I always like having TW around. Oh no, we might have caught him off guard. He maybe didn't know.
Hello. I didn't think you'd jump in.
Yeah, I brought you both in, and then we'll talk to you guys for a few, and we'll bring in other people as well as time goes on. So what are your guys' thoughts then on the subjects covered today? I didn't even talk about the what if trade.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I was surprised you didn't talk about that today.
Yeah,
I forgot during the release date.
I know. I forgot.
That trailer, by the way, I covered the trailer on my channel. There's a ton of Easter eggs and stuff in that trailer that's very surprising.
Yeah,
I literally played the trailer on slow-mo and just broke it down. There's a lot of like subtle details that they put in that trailer. Like if you're eagle-eyed.
There's I saw a bunch when I was watching it. And then like I got to watch it a few hundred more times to really kind of get it. But it's like really kind of sad to see as like that it is Chadwick Boseman's last time playing T'Challa. You know,
his last performance in general.
that was cool. That looked really cool. But what was weird was I was reading the Deadline article that came out with it. What was it? I think it was it Steve Rogers, Tony Stark, and a couple other characters aren't going to be played by their
Steve Rogers,
MCU
Tony
counterparts,
Stark, Captain Marvel, the Collector, and Howard the Duck.
That's it. Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, they're not going to be played by voiced by their actors?
No, but it didn't cover
no Downey, no Evans.
Yeah.
I don't know why that was the big sell.
Well, yeah, everyone else is back, just not them.
That was the big fucking sell. This is the poster right here. It looks really cool.
By the way, Spider-Man has Doctor Strange's cape, and that's Ultron and Vision morphed in like one creature of the Marvel zombies. And
one of the what ifs is what if Spider-Man was the Sorcerer Supreme? So
is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
No, that looks pretty interesting. I mean, like, it looks really good. I really enjoyed the trailer. There's just like I watched it on my phone this morning, and I was like dead tired because I had to get up early to look after the kids. And I'm watching on my phone. I'm like, oh my god, so much stuff is flashing by so fast. And then I just got so busy for the rest of the day, I haven't gone back to watch it again. I can bring it up again. I don't.
Yeah. Yes, Chris Hemsworth is in it. He is in there as Thor. You have Haley Atwell, Peggy Carter. Literally everyone's back except for like 5 different characters. So.
And then I'm gonna just so we can bring in some call-ins. I'm gonna just fire off all my little list of notes here. First off, like congrats on Patio coming back. I do love it. I also haven't seen the Tomorrow War, so this will be.
There's no spoilers.
It was kind of
There's no spoilers in the Patio commentary.
Good.
Like, I mean, like it, like you know,
that's good. And also, you know, like you had said, it was an odd choice of sequel.
Yeah, that's kind of the whole point is
the fences with the cast.
Yeah, like this is a weird episode of Patio commentary because, like I said, it's like there was no. If you go on the wiki, because usually I use the wiki as a framework to get like a lot of, and I can like find a lot of the information. But like, there's nothing there about like how they shot it. There's like nothing there. It's like, oh, one line. They went and they filmed in Atlanta and Iceland, you know, and then like so from there to, I'm like, okay, that is there anything else? And so I found like a little anecdote that Chris Pratt had said about shooting on a glacier in Iceland, and like how they found some bodies a few weeks prior. Like that's something. And then it's like there wasn't a lot for like how the script like came together. So I mean, I literally tracked the script back when it was under its original name to 2015 when it first sold. And like I mean, I put in a lot of work into this thing. It's the shortest episode I've done so far because there's just not a lot of available information. So that part kind of sucks. But I'm happy to be back doing it again. No, go ahead.
Yeah. And as far as like Argyle, did they announce a date for the novel?
The novel's coming out sometime in 2022. That's all I know. Is this coming out? The novel's coming out sometime in 2022.
Like, well, I'm thinking to myself, it's like, well, do you think people will see the novel as like a novelization of the movie?
You know, probably, because if the movie will be done filming before the book even comes out.
Okay.
So and that's interesting because they might drop the book and then like a few months before the movie comes out.
That's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
And then as far as like the whole it's related because it was kind of talking about pop stars. I haven't seen Dunkirk. What did you think of Harry Styles?
I haven't watched Dunkirk. I was really excited when I first heard. You're cutting out pretty bad, buddy.
Actor. Did you see Dunkirk?
No.
Yeah. By the way, GW, you're cutting out like really bad. Like I don't know what's going on.
Okay. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm going to do then is, if you guys want to talk for a second or bring in a call in, I'm going to just hop over to a different browser and then I'll jump back in.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. I'll get you back in when that happens. All right.
Yeah, sounds good. Much appreciated.
All right. Cool. Thank you, TW. Appreciate that, man. All right, so we'll bring in here real quick here. HBar's here at the $2. Says, Matt, Enosh might be bringing me Arby's. I'll save some for you. Only if it's curly fries and only if you got the barbecue sauce, man. Come on, I ain't no scrub. I know what I want from Arby's.
Well, the question is, will there be beef and cheddar?
Will there be beef and cheddar? Yeah. No, I don't like their beef and cheddar. I just like their straight Arby's roast beef sandwich. Like, just give me that and the barbecue sauce. I'm happy.
Yeah, that's pretty good
like,
too.
I'm a pretty straightforward guy.
Sometimes with Arby's, they put way too much cheddar. Like, it's way too cheesy.
Well,
it's
yeah.
like a mess.
I'm like, I like cheese, but I'm not a huge cheese eater. So there's that. But all right, we got Tito back here with another browser, and then we'll be bringing in Andrew Casali.
Andrew.
Hello, Andrew.
Andrew. Andrew.
I don't know what just happened.
I don't know either.
What's up,
brought
man?
you in, and then you went stone silent.
I think maybe your streamer acted up again.
That wouldn't impact you. That would only impact me.
Okay.
So
all
there
right.
you go. So, all right. So, Andrew, what are your thoughts on the subjects covered tonight?
Well, I started bringing up that what thing. I'm down with it too.
They're down with what too?
The What If Marvel show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I think that's going to be pretty big. Do we know how many episodes that is?
10 episodes.
Okay.
Yeah, no. It's like not super short.
And here's the thing, like with some of them, like say the one where you saw Killmonger save Tony from the shrapnel. I thought if that happens, he never becomes Iron Man, and the whole MCU changes.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. It was really interesting because it seems like it's them teaming up to potentially take over Wakanda. Sounds pretty cool. So
that's cool.
Well, I mean, this is going to be Tony Stark before he has a revelation. So
yeah, it's
obviously,
not him going through that emotional arc. Like,
he doesn't have the thing with the instinct
that he was before the shrapnel hit him.
That's a really interesting
and
idea.
Also, when I looked at the poster, I saw Spider-Man, with the Doctor Strange cape. I don't know how I feel about that.
It's what if?
Are you saying, Andrew?
Andrew,
are you saying you feel strange about it? I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Oh my God.
If you want to boo,
like I know you're Canadian, but our people are funny. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm not.
like how many?
I'm the poor genetic mutation.
You're like the one Canadian that walks around going like, man, this beer sucks.
I don't drink beer.
Oh, you're Canadian. Do you play hockey? Do you like poutine?
I can't skate. I like poutine.
Okay, well at least you got one of like.
Can you bring up?
You got one of 8. Comments? What's up?
I just saw Lord Slug made a comment about something about me.
Oh, if it was Toby, Andrew would love it. That's right. That's right. Yeah, I agree. I actually agree on that one too. If it was Toby Maguire who was doing the Spider-Man and the What If, Andrew would be like, I've already had to like change my pants 3 times.
Yo, gross.
Blinded Braille. I just saw Blinded Braille's comment there. I did not know that. Apparently Harry Styles is in Eternals as Star Fox.
Really?
That's been a rumor for a while. Rumor until it gets confirmed. Okay, it's just a rumor. It's not confirmed.
Okay.
What isn't a rumor these days? I'm just saying. Like, at this point, literally,
4chan.
what is not? Yeah, what is not a rumor? It's just like insane stuff.
And then, yeah. What was it?
I don't know. You said what is it, and then
you stopped.
Stream art is just being weird. I don't know
it's being weird tonight. That is very true. It's like working for me just fine. But anyway, let's take a look here at the trailer. Yeah, you're okay now. So we're gonna take.
Am I good?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Can you get you?
We're gonna take a look here at the What If trailer. So then
let's do it.
All right.
Yeah, peace. I love peace. I'd be out of a job with peace.
Oh,
okay, sorry. I don't like that voice.
It's not Robert Downey Jr.
It's like it sounds like him, but it sounds like one that has got like no balls.
Way too much of a high pitch.
Yeah, that's actually the voice for Tony in the Marvel Disney XD cartoons.
Oh,
is it?
I don't watch that. I don't watch that crap.
Yeah, they probably got the cartoon voice actors to come in.
But they were telling us that the What If was going to end up being.
Well, apparently they must have had some kind of conflict with Downey.
No, I don't think that's a good thing. It's just a bit poor scheduling conflicts.
No, they would have done this in 2019. They would have done all the voice recording in 2019 when they first announced it. Keep in mind that when it comes to animation, they record the voices way early, so they can sync
Well, I'll say this: Downey and Chris Evans not being there, I understand because they're retired from the characters for right now. Everybody else is a little weird. Like I don't know why Benedict Cumberbatch and Brie Larson couldn't do this.
Yeah,
I mean, Cumberbatch with the scream, it sounded like it.
So no, according to like the other articles, they're saying like it's out. But anyway, let's get back to this here. Like 5 seconds in, it's like, all right, let me get critical. No, we're not the fandom menace.
That the whole MCU changes.
Do we know each other?
Now, is Michael B. Jordan voicing Killmonger in it?
Yes, he is.
Okay, they'll get Michael B. Jordan, but not Robert Downey Jr.
Time. Reality. It's changeable.
Whoa.
So real quick, pause it. So if you go back to that shot, I don't know if you noticed, but it is all the different characters from each episode teaming up against something.
Well, I have a theory about that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So apparently all the stories in What If will be connected in some way.
So wait,
but like near the end, you can have like introduce all these What If characters, and then somehow this new Watcher character can take them out of their timelines.
Well, again, Marvel is doing the multiverse when DC is still trying to wipe its ass. You know what I mean?
Marvel's actually doing the multiverse.
Yeah.
I mean,
so, but who's playing? But who's T'Challa? Who's
Chadwick Boseman?
No. I mean, over here we got Black Panther in the far left. Here.
That's Killmonger.
Killmonger. Oh, Killmonger becomes okay. That's
because that's T'Challa there with the Star-Lord mask.
And apparently Gamora becomes Thanos or something.
Yeah, that's interesting. And then, but it's also like, but it's still, is that Thor?
Yeah, they're calling him Party Thor because the story of that episode is what if he landed in Las Vegas instead of New Mexico?
Yeah, what if he never learned? And then also, what if Thor never learns humility? And
where you want to be? That's the question, isn't it?
Every universe is different. Each one.
That's what I'm waiting for. Is Howard the Duck? The fact that they're
not
bringing
voiced
back,
by Seth Green though. Not
voiced by Seth Green. That's weird.
I mean, he's on the list.
I read somewhere that apparently in this show, instead of Bruce Banner becoming the Hulk, it's a Hawkeye.
Well, that would explain why Natasha's there.
No, I actually, like I said, I broke it down in the trailer. That's not true. It's just the animation style made it look like it's Hawkeye, but it is Mark Ruffalo.
Oh, it's Bruce Banner?
Yeah, it's Bruce Banner.
And that is Natasha, though, right?
Yeah, that is Natasha, yes.
Yeah, I mean, this is clearly Captain Carter. But I love that it's
Captain Britain. I'll be a little bit miffed, but that's just me.
But can I say this one thing? What's with the giant Iron Man suit? Iron Man doesn't come around until Tony.
Well, that's Steve Rogers.
Yeah,
I know that, but how do they make Iron Man armor before Tony Stark?
Howard Stark makes it. It's called the Hydra Stomper.
Yeah, remember, you got to remember is Howard Stark came up with the element that was used to like help Tony in Iron Man 2, and I guarantee you that shit was around from World War II is what they're going to probably argue.
That makes sense.
So that's probably what they're going to do. But let's keep going.
Unique.
Slow down a little bit. There's a few people in the room that don't understand. Not me. I get
Yeah.
I do kind of like that Thor.
Who are you?
The name's Captain Carter.
Again, it's all connected. That is evil Doctor Strange talking to Captain Carter.
What's the deal with Stephen Strange becoming evil?
You ever watch
It's all what if. It's just
RJ,
literally.
Have you seen? Sorry, RJ. Have you seen Pro ZD?
Pro ZD, yes, I have.
What if it was Doctor Strange with the evil Doctor Strange?
Yeah, right.
You can tell by the weird pasty look on his face.
Sure.
No,
I don't know. All I know is
I'll explain that. I'll explain that in the back room.
Was it Armin Zola here says Scheisse? That was great. Right here, Armin Zola is that Toby Jones? Is he coming back?
That is Toby Jones.
Great.
Yes.
All right. Because
Scheisse.
Oh my god!
that should be a drop. That should be a drop right there.
Oh.
Scheisse.
I am the Watcher. observe all that transpires here. But I do not, cannot, will not interfere. I guess I have to freestyle then.
Wait, whose head? Whose head's in the...
That is Scott Lang.
That looked like Scott Lang.
That's Paul Rudd, and he's doing the voice.
When did Ant-Man get his head cut off?
I don't know. This is
the way to find out.
Okay, so it's Hawkeye. Banner is Hawkeye.
But like him screaming, it almost seems like he's gonna go Hulk, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, that's Mark Ruffalo. That's Mark Ruffalo.
Oh, yeah. Mark Ruffalo is Hawkeye. Okay.
Now is Chris Pratt in this at all? Is Star-Lord in this at all?
I'm not for sure.
Because they didn't show anything with that.
Well, technically Star-Lord is, but I don't know if.
Well, sorry, Peter Quill.
I know. I'm just being
a
pod still.
All right, let's go.
We have you outnumbered.
A Ravager never flies solo. I said never flies solo.
Is that some kind of catchphrase?
There you go.
Oh, dude, the arrow.
You had me worried for a second.
Whoa!
Wait, that was a collector. That was a collector.
Yeah, and he's like really cyborgy and buffed out.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it totally is.
Yeah,
Is it Benicio voicing him?
It's not Benicio. He's not.
Damn it.
Damn it. You can't get everyone. You can't get everyone.
I mean, like, the thing is, like, don't they have like unlimited budgets for these kind of shows? I'm just saying, it's like they were promising us. They were promising us everyone.
It's 90% everyone.
90%. It's a lot less. If you don't got Robert Downey Jr. or Chris Evans, it ain't 90% everyone. I'd argue a solid maybe like 70% everyone.
60% of the time it works.
Yeah, I'll go
60% of the time, every time.
Hey, RJ.
Sex Panther.
Peter Parker?
I don't know. That actually is a big thing though. That Spider-Man is in this. I wasn't expecting him to be in the show. I don't know why.
His costume got an upgrade.
Hold on. Shifty Gizm here says, "Why can't we get Star Wars animation that looks this good?"
Well, we'll be getting it in September.
You have the Bad Batch.
Yeah, I would argue the Bad Batch. Yeah,
Bad Batch looks phenomenal though.
And the thing with this though, this stuff looks more like watch Star Wars Resistance. It's almost the same kind of animation.
Like
but it's just way more. There's a lot more shadows and it's a lot more cell shaded. Hold on. Bradley asks, "Who's voicing Spidey? Is that Tom Holland?"
I think it is, but they have not confirmed it.
I mean, when we look at the Peter Parker in this thing, he looks older than Tom Holland.
Tom Holland's 25, dude. Like,
well, still,
like I have to keep reiterating that to people. Like Tom Holland is,
I know, that's kind of crazy.
I know he's 25, and he's going to be
Nathan Drake.
Yeah, I guess that's true. All right,
there's a rumor that Steve Rogers is Spider-Man, not Peter Parker. That'd be interesting.
I don't know. Steve Rogers is also like, unless he pops up multiple times. Well, I mean, in real life, you never know. Again, this is all what if. We don't know what they're going to do. They're literally
I'm just.
Let's just do whatever we want.
Well, that's the fun of it. It's like the Twilight Zone. It's like the Twilight Zone, but Marvel.
I just want to see
what if stories. That's why I love them so much.
I think it'd be really funny if Rocket Raccoon was a pickle.
Oh, what?
You know,
love of
God. And then just be like, "I'm Pickle Rick."
Oh, that can't happen.
No, Groot should be a pickle. All he says is Pickle Rick. I'm Pickle Rick.
Oh my!
That would be really funny. That would be hysterical. Just get Justin Roiland to do the whole thing.
Shifty Gizm, what's wrong with anime? What's wrong with there being a furry bunny Jedi?
I don't think she's a Jedi either.
Pickle Raccoon.
Oh,
actually, my theory is that with the T'Challa Star-Lord episode, he's going to recruit his own team of Guardians, and one of them will be Howard the Duck instead of Rocket Raccoon.
Oh, God. That'd be pretty good. That'd be pretty good. Because for one, and here's the thing is, by the way, Howard the Duck was trending today on Twitter because the 4K, they just released the 4K of Howard the Duck.
That's terrific.
And even Leah Thompson was on Twitter tonight saying, like, I see Howard the Duck is trending. Hey, can I direct like a what if for Marvel?
Oh wow!
Because she's been directing recently, so she wants to like listen. I'm just saying if they remade some of those scenes from Howard the Duck with Leah Thompson, I don't care if it's been 30 years. You know what I mean? I don't care if it's been 30 years.
They're PG-13, Jarbo, Disney.
I don't care.
Who cares?
They don't look. They used to own Miramax. I remember back in the '90s when Miramax was putting out stuff like Jefferson in Paris, and it's like Nick Nolte fucking his way through Paris.
Did they own Miramax during when Clerks dropped?
Yeah, they did. They did, yeah. And then they like there was all these articles from all these puritanical parent groups that are like, Disney is peddling pornography to children. Like, no, they're not. This is like that was the thing. Is like all these right wingers back in the 90s were got their panties in a twist over the independent scene blowing up with all of this, like, I don't know, like high tier erotica and stuff. And because Disney owned Miramax, then people looked at it like it was this, like, Disney wouldn't own that. It's like, dude, Disney's a business. I mean, Walter was like a raging anti-Semite, wasn't he?
No,
maybe not raging. Maybe not raging.
I don't even think he was. I don't even think
he was.
We'll talk about that in the backroom, Turbo. It's a long story. It's a long story.
You know what?
There's a perception that he was.
There's a perception, yeah.
Lord Slugs is anime as
yeah,
evil.
You know, you're right on one thing, Jarbo. Leah Thompson was smoking in that movie.
Oh yeah, dude.
She was smoking in Back to the Future. And
she was smoking. No. Hold on. As Lorraine in Back to the Future.
It's the fact that she lit up a smoke, Jarbo.
Not the. Oh no.
I mean, she kissed her own son.
How many times in like that? She was in like, dude. She was in like a loose fitting tank top, and like panties. It's like nothing in Back to the Future
I'm not
was even remotely sexy.
Jarbo, I was making a funny about the fact that she lights up a smoke in the car while Marty's there.
Yeah,
I've never seen Howard the Duck.
Wait, hold on. You've never seen Howard the Duck?
I've never.
You've never seen Howard the Dude. Howard the Duck is here's the thing. People always say it's a terrible movie. People say it's a terrible movie. It's not. It's not. Like, I don't know any person in my life who unironically dislikes Howard the Duck. You know what I mean? Like, everyone I know who watches Howard the Duck loves Howard the Duck. And
that's a duck, man.
It's like, it's a great movie. I mean, you got Tim Robbins is in it. You got Jeffrey Jones before all that weird pedophilia shit from 20 years ago. Leah Thompson. It's a George Lucas production. It's the first Marvel movie. It's got a giant fucking like space spider.
Is it the first Marvel movie?
It is. Yes, it is the first. It is the first. Yeah. Okay. Hold on here. Okay. Hold on. Shiftyism says she was buck naked in all the right moves. That is true. She was buck naked in all the right moves.
Did you see how she turned on Howard in that bed scene? Damn.
That's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? It's like, look, Kim Cattrall is hot as fucking mannequin, but you see her fully nude in what was it? Porky's. You know what I mean? And it's like, by the way, if you've never seen Porky's is an excellent 80s comedy.
I have seen parts of it, and I also have my dad has for years made the not actually on a phone, but has referenced the fake name that is given over the phone.
God, I remember it's been so long since
Michael Hunt.
Oh yeah,
goes by Mike.
Yeah. Porky's is my stepdad. My stepdad told me about the plot of Porky's when I was like 10 years old, and we were camping. And he's like, you ever seen this movie called Porky's? I'm like, no. He's like, oh yeah, you're a little young for that, aren't you? And then like I own Porky's on DVD, man. Meatballs 1 is PG. All right, Meatballs 1 is PG. Meatballs 2, 3, and 4 are R-rated smut films.
4 Meatballs?
Yeah, 4. Yes, Meatballs 4. Guess who stars in Meatballs 4?
Who?
Corey fucking Feldman.
What?
I am not making that up. Corey Feldman stars. Yeah. So he's like this like new camp counselor. Like he goes like he's trying to like spruce up the camp, and that literally his character parachutes into the camp in the movie. That's how his character gets into the
Wet Hot American Summer before Wet Hot American Summer.
I hated Wet Hot American Summer. I really did. Yeah, I thought it was I couldn't stand it. It was like so pretentious. There's the thing. It was chock full of talent that I love and I adore.
The talent is just ridiculous.
The talent is so insane on that movie. And even the TV show that they did a couple years ago on Netflix still had a whole bunch of talent. But the way David Wayne put that film together, I wanted to blow my brains out. I even like, I have tried to go back to that movie multiple times ago. Is it just me? Was I in the wrong frame of mind to like get to understand and like this movie?
Fine. I just think it's just kind of overblown with regards.
It is. It is. Oh yeah, people suck that movie's dick completely. Like, no, they don't need to. But I'll tell you this though: the best part of that movie is the can of fucking vegetables. You know why? You know who voices the can of vegetables? H. John Benjamin. That's right.
It's amazing.
Who comes up with these movie names?
And the fact that, but I still kind of find it funny the fact that like he's talking to Chris Maloney, and like Chris Maloney's like a vet who's trying to process everything.
Yeah, I know. That part was I like Chris. Yeah, that was okay. But like David Hyde Pierce, Janine Garofalo, and the kids with the telescope and
so many
like,
big name celebrities.
Oh no, there's a ton of people. Ton of people in that. All right, let's finish this up here, and then Andrew, I'm going to let you go because I got more people to get to. Right, and then let's just finish this up here.
Journey to face the unknown and ponder the question. What if?
Yeah, that's going to be pretty tight.
That is to answer Jedi Wanderer, who's in the back. That is the voice of the Watcher, and that is Jordan
Jeffrey
Peele,
Wright.
right?
Jeffrey Wright, man.
No, it's Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah, Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele.
If it was Jordan Peele, like Keegan-Michael Key would just like pop up. You know,
I don't know because
like, I'm a watcher too.
The revival of the Twilight Zone, right? That's
no, they can't. No, here's the thing: they canceled the Twilight Zone after I think 2 seasons, and Jordan Peele retired from acting.
Oh, yes, he did retire.
Like because he wants to focus on making more movies and stuff. So yeah,
but he's the Watcher.
Yeah, it was requested to bring up just because people here want to see it. Howard the Duck trailer.
Ooh, all right,
Howard the Duck.
Who voiced Howard in that movie?
It was a guy. Yeah, God, I hate to say this. Andy Signore had him on his podcast just recently.
Oh, him?
Okay.
Yeah. They got him on to talk about Howard the Duck for one of their shows, and I'm like, all right, whatever, man. You know, like that's cool.
I should have expected him to bring him on.
Well, yeah, I don't know. All right, let's see. Oh my God, Starship Trooper brings up Drop Dead Fred. Look, cobwebs. Still a great line from that movie. Yes, I've seen Drop Dead Fred. It's been a very long time since I've seen Drop Dead Fred, but I have seen Drop Dead Fred.
Names for movies.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Drop Dead Fred?
Look at that year, 1986.
1986, baby.
35th anniversary this year.
Yeah, it's old, and it's just come out on 4K. I'm gonna have to pick it up on 4K.
That's pretty cool. And then Joe, Crazy Joe from Megapodtastic let me know, or they put in like a big group chat we're in, that like to commemorate the 55th anniversary of Star Trek, they're putting on like the first 6 Star Trek movies on 4K, or the first 4 on 4K.
Yeah. I talked about that today. I'm like, but like you're telling me like with the Final Frontier, I mean, I don't care about that one, but like Undiscovered Country is not.
I know, that was very strange.
Like you're going like you're giving us the motion picture, which literally no one cares about. Just do the fucking, if you're just going to do 4, fuck that. Drop it down to 3. Just do the good ones, which are the even ones. And then just give us like, you know, Khan, Voyage Home, and Undiscovered Country. And then we'll be happy.
I'll never forget the first time I watched Star Trek the Motion Picture because I hadn't seen it. I watched Next Gen and the original series before I watched the motion picture. I'll never forget the first time when I see the Enterprise and I hear dun 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 dun. I'm like, nice. The Next Gen themes in this? What? You know, I didn't realize that it started there.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. It's all yeah. So
I looked up who voiced Howard the Duck. It's Ed Gale. He was Chucky's stunt double in Child's Play.
Man, I love Child's Play. That's such a good movie.
All right, let's do it.
That's terrific.
All the Child's Plays are fun movies. They know what they are, and you have to respect them for it.
Especially when you got the Joker voice in them.
Well, that's I don't know. It's a little different though. That's not Brad Dourif, and I'm a bit of a Chucky purist on that front. But anyway, let's. If you guys haven't seen Howard the Duck, get ready to have.
Dude, it was 30 years ago.
1986, 35 years ago. You're in for a treat.
Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Across the sea of stars lies another world, a world almost exactly like ours. This
the Twilight
Zone. He lives. He's 27 years old, single but searching. Favorite sports, windsurfing and Aikido. Favorite pastimes, cigars and sex.
Oh my God. Oh my God, Raiders of the Lost Story.
And then one night,
those breeders.
Hey, good buddy, are you home?
has a very sudden midlife crisis. He lands in Cleveland.
It's so cheesy.
You know why you were sent to me?
Listen to me, small visitor. I can explain how you got here.
Maybe you're here for some greater purpose, some
Oh, there she is.
Here, he's forced to reassess his career goals.
You went to med school?
To explore new relationships. To redefine his self-image.
I'm sorry, we don't allow pets on the premises.
To adjust to a changing lifestyle.
Pull it out!
Until he discovers just who he really is.
Oh, no.
A duck in
Is that Tim Robbins?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
That's a duck, man!
That's a duck, man.
Trapped in a world he never made.
Yeah.
Coming from
I remember one line where it goes,
I like how they were hiding Howard. They were hiding Howard a lot in that trailer.
Were they really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bradley here. I love the
love
theme
that.
song. I know. Me too, man. Me too. Because it's
Thomas
Howard
Dolby.
the Duck.
Thomas
My
Dolby.
channel says
She blinded me with science, Thomas Dolby. No kidding.
Howard the Duck has the hottest sex scenes in
Yeah, from Leah
1996.
Thompson.
It did. In Search of 4K. Shut up, H parts. That movie's never coming out of 720p. I don't think.
I remember one scene of the film where you have Howard going, "I'm a master of quack foo."
Oh, that's in there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I don't know why they haven't done more with Howard the Duck over the years. To be honest with you, they keep kind of talking about it, but
Yeah, that was awesome. Really?
wow, that's horrible. It's not horrible. It's not horrible. And then Tim Robbins went on to do Shawshank. Yeah, like 8 years later. But yeah, that's true. He did. Music Man here's like, she's running around with all that ass out.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is. She is. That movie is like, I saw that when I was a kid. I'm all like, haha. Oh,
I bet you got a hard on for Leah Thompson.
I'll tell you one time. I don't have a hard on for Leah Thompson, but like one time, and when I was in LA, I was in Studio City for a meetup, and we're at this restaurant. And as we're getting ready to leave, I get up and I turn around to like get my chair and push it in, and I'm literally like half a foot away from Leah Thompson having breakfast with her husband.
Oh, did you go talk to her?
No. Because that's the thing is like when you're in when you're in LA in those kind of settings, you don't really do that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like
it's just people working in town. And having lunch.
Yeah. So it's just like you go, all right, they're doing their thing. You don't really bug them. Like, do you guys remember the original Starbuck from Battlestar Galactica, Richard Hatch?
Oh, okay.
He was the original Apollo, but yes.
Thank you. Sorry, I never watched it, but I've met the guy multiple times before he passed away. Unfortunately, he was a nice guy, but he was very egotistical. And at Comic-Con, he would specifically sit at this one restaurant, and they had a patio that was right there in the center, facing down towards the convention center, right in the center of Gaslamp, which is like the area outside of the convention center in San Diego. And he would sit there facing the convention center, so people as they were walking up would see Richard Hatch sitting there and then like stop and talk to him and try to get like pictures and stuff.
It feels like he kind of just like was Zarek in real life.
Who?
Like sort of like the Tom Zarek, like the guy he is in the remake.
I don't know. I never saw the remake either.
The remake's good. I've seen the first 3 seasons. It's pretty good.
He was definitely an egotistical guy, but like, and he loved the attention. Very nice, very friendly, but that was very noticeable.
It's just kind of he's egotistical, but he wasn't necessarily.
Yeah, it wasn't a dick. He wasn't a dick about it, and I always just thought that was really funny. That was the last time I saw him before he passed away.
Yeah,
was as we were leaving Comic-Con on the last night, and he was sitting there waiting for people to come as they were walking out, and I'm like, yeah, that's Richard for you. And then he unfortunately passed away not too long after that. Anyway, okay, Andrew, I'm gonna let you go, buddy. I got more people to get to and stuff like that, and we're coming up on Bad Batch time, so I gotta kind of rush this stuff through.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, buddy. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right, real quick here. H Bars with $2 says, "Why did they get rid of Seth Green as Howard?" I don't know.
No idea.
I don't know. I mean, it's like who knows? It's scheduling. I love when they say scheduling conflicts. It's like, come on.
It also helps. It was like one line at the end of a movie, 6-7 years ago. So
maybe it's because Seth Green really didn't voice the character that much. The way they want to cast an actor to actually like play Howard full time in like a larger role.
Well, here's the thing: is I want to know who Kevin Smith cast as Howard the Duck, because
is that still happening or no?
No, it's dead. It's dead. The only thing that survived was MODOK, and MODOK was great. I loved MODOK.
Are they going to continue that, or is it like a one and done
we
season?
haven't heard yet if it's just going to be a limited series or not. I think like I have a feeling it's going to continue because I think
it's stop motion.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was from the guys behind Robot Chicken.
Oh,
and like it's really good. It's really good. You've got like again Patton Oswalt's in it. Amy Garcia, Amy Ferreira, I think, from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Who's the son? It's Ben Schwartz is the son.
Oh, okay.
From Sonic the Hedgehog's voice.
Yeah.
Ben Schwartz does so many cartoons and
he does. Like he was Huey, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was on DuckTales.
Yes.
Yeah, and you could totally tell it's him on DuckTales, and he's like totally John Ralphio on DuckTales. It's great, and I recognize Bobby Monahan and I recognize Danny Pudi as I'm watching DuckTales, and I don't even care. Like I recognize, I can even picture like Tox Akonde,
Yes.
I can never pronounce her name, but I liked her on a couple other shows. And then I like her in the show. Was it Katie Masucci?
Kate Micucci was Webby.
Micucci, yeah, as
David
Webby.
Tennant was Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah.
Catherine Tate was Magica Dispel.
Yeah, right. But like, and I was a little bit bummed with Magica Dispel because I remember the old voice, and I liked the old voice. It is very hard to beat that. But it was good. I like DuckTales. DuckTales is a fantastic show.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, all right. So we got more people to get to here. We're just going to bring in Mo. Hey Mo, you there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm alive.
All right, man. Cool. So, what are your thoughts on what we talked about tonight?
Oh, it's just I just barely saw that What If trailer. I think this morning when I woke up, and I don't know, man. You guys said it's like 10 episodes, right?
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know about this whole Captain Britain thing. Why do they call it just Captain Carter for this whole thing going on Twitter right now?
Well, because she's literally what ifing like Captain America.
Yeah, and
she's not Captain.
She calls herself Captain Carter, not Captain Britain. She calls herself Captain Carter.
Yeah, it's just I've just been trying to understand what the fuck's going on before I start putting my own opinion out there. But I was just hoping there would be a lot more episodes than 10. So,
I don't know if this is true, but I think one of the articles has been mentioned that they're already working on a season 2.
Oh,
like it's gonna be like a multiple thing where it's like they do multiple what if stories.
IMAX.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited that it's gonna be like totally new things with the what ifs. But I was also kind of hoping they would actually make some what ifs from the books. But that's just kind of what I was hoping for.
Yeah, it's I mean, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Hey, what's going on, Max? What you doing, buddy? You're getting ready to go play the Amico. I don't know if I would brag about that.
Yeah, there's a big public event going on in this weekend in Pennsylvania. So
yeah,
much fun to everyone who's going.
I know, it's like, hey guys, do you want to go out to Pennsylvania? No.
You don't want to go? Well, you're telling me you wouldn't want to go to the Crayola experience, Matt?
You know what? I mean, like I would because like I've never been, but like I wouldn't say I'm going specifically for the Amiga. Like if I lived closer to I guess because I'm in Washington, so there's no way I could get there.
Yeah.
And I honestly, God, like I think I'm going like on a family day trip on Saturday, I think.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, like my family, my dad and my stepmom want to go somewhere, so I'm like, all right, I guess we're gonna go to the coast. I don't know.
Yeah. I get that. I mean, I maybe would have gone if I had the money, but I don't have that. Plus, I'm focusing on seeing Black Widow this weekend anyway. So
yeah, I was going to go to Black Widow tonight, but my whole day got just completely derailed, and before I knew it, I'm like, well, it's already 9:00, and I just got done writing. Like, I'll go tomorrow. I'll go tomorrow, or I'll just watch it tomorrow.
Yeah, spoil it for me, would you?
Sure, I will. But all right, Mo, I'm gonna let you go, buddy. I get to the rest of the people and stuff, but I appreciate you waiting and coming on in, man. Thank you.
No problem. Have a good night.
See you later, buddy. Have a good one. Thank you. All right, and then we got Jedi Wanderer here, man. How's it going?
Hello.
How you doing?
You mentioned a couple of things, a couple of other movies here. I have to ask you. I posted it in here in the private chat. I don't know. If
you're talking about like the other movie where some host made these parents go to this caper world, but it was hell mode. You're talking about Stay Tuned with Terry Garr and not Terry Garr. It wasn't Terry Garr.
He was a doctor. that you saw on the trailer just now for Howard the Duck that was shooting those laser beams out of him?
Yeah, Jeffrey Jones. Yeah,
He
you're
was in
thinking
there.
of you're thinking of Mom and Dad Save the World, is what you're thinking of.
Was it?
Yeah, so
But
there's
you got
two
to
films.
see-
There's two films right there. There's Mom and Dad Save the World, which is Jeffrey Jones and Terry Garr, where John Lovitz, who's basically Space Napoleon, pulls them into space. And then you've got
not Mom and Dad Save the World. I'm talking about where
they go into the cable station. Yeah.
And that's all the stuff you can watch
that's
on
called
TV,
Stay
like
Tuned.
Wayne's World, Underworld, and all that other
it's
funny
called
crap.
It's called Stay Tuned with John Ritter, and Eugene Levy is in it as well.
Oh, cool.
That was
And
so good.
That was a good film. Yeah, that was a really funny movie. I forget who played the wife in Stay Tuned, but
I don't remember either. I just remember the guy that just showed up right. What happened to the doctor and how? I've seen it twice, but what exactly happened to him in there? Like, did he turn into the monster, or was he possessed?
It was
by the
Pam
monster?
Dauber. Yeah. Oh, sorry. It is Jeffrey Jones convinces. Okay, yeah. So he is Satan in that movie as well. You're right. I totally forgot about that.
Right, but in Howard the Duck, that doctor. No.
Yeah. Oh, whatever. Oh, what happened?
Did the monster possess him, or did he turn into him, or
Well, the
what
monster.
happened?
Well, the demon, not the demon. Like the alien, basically just kind of like takes over his body. And he ends up becoming the demon. I think I don't remember if he dies at the end of that or not, but
I
don't remember either. I gotta watch the whole thing again, but I love that part. It was back then when you watch these movies, the effects that they pulled here were great. I mean, you look at it now and you're laughing, but you have to appreciate how hard they worked just to make these things look cool and get the kids like, wow, that's pretty damn cool, you know?
Yeah.
These people were hard on this stuff.
Yeah. You know what they mentioned in the Wikipedia page for Stay Tuned when I just looked it up there? I didn't know this. Tim Burton was originally attached to direct.
Because that would have been much different.
And then he left because he left to go work on Batman Returns. So I'm like, well, I think he made the right choice.
Yeah, I'm glad he left to make Batman Returns because that was literally the best sequel for Michael Keaton's Batman. It's still too bad, he didn't get a chance to do Batman Forever, though. That would have been terrific.
Well, what did the guy who did Stay Tuned is Peter Hyams, who according to this also did he was executive producer on the Monster Squad. He directed The Presidio, which was a good movie with Mark Harmon and Sean Connery.
Okay.
He did Time Cop. Cop. He also did Sudden Death, which was I love Sudden Death, by the way.
Oh, he did 2000. He directed 2010. I didn't
really?
know that. Huh? Apparently so.
Wow. Okay. And
Written,
then he also
produced, and shot it.
Yeah, and then he also did End of Days with Schwarzenegger. That was a good one.
That one's one of my favorites.
What else? He did the Relic with Penelope Ann Miller. I saw that one.
I have to look at that one again. That sounds familiar.
But he also did The Sound of Thunder, which was came out in 2005, and that one was one about I think it was like Ray Bradbury, wasn't it? It's
what movie? Oh, Sound of Thunder. Yes,
Sound of Thunder. It
was a Bradbury short story.
Yeah, that one. I remember when they were pushing that because there was a big There was at the time.
Huge. Oh yeah, because it was like a Minority Report, and then this, and then there was Timeline. I think was a Bradbury movie as well.
And we talked about that the other night when Richard Donner passed away because he did that in 2003. I remember that at the time in 2005 there was a big Ray Bradbury push.
Yes.
And because I think he was just I forget, like maybe it was a birthday or something.
I think he was turning, was it 60?
He died at the age of 91. So in 2005, he was like in his 80s and whatnot. And there was like this big kind of resurgence of him right around that time. And so, I remember when Sound of Thunder came out. It wasn't that good of a movie.
Oh no, it was meh. Like it was not. I've read the short story. It was nothing like it. Well, like it started roughly the same, but effectively, pretty much after they got back, the entire second and third acts of that film were created for the movie.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Originally, Rennie Harlan was going to direct The Sound of Thunder, and Pierce Brosnan was going to be in the main role.
Wow.
And the budget for it was going to end up being only $55 million, but apparently this one racked up $80 million budget and only pulled in $11 million in the box office.
Yeah, and you said 2005. That would have been
2005, yeah.
Bradbury was turning 85 that year.
Okay, so that might have been. Bad Batch dropped.
Can I say something here? Out of print, you are exactly right. Out of print, because they hired Danny DeVito to play the role of the Penguin in Tim Burton's Batman Returns. He set the stage. Being the Penguin, that is forever whoever watched that movie and appreciated what that man did in there. Because he set the stage, we got another damn good actor in Gotham being Penguin, which he too did a fantastic job himself. A different look, but he was really good. So, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, yep, I mean.
Yeah, golf clap to DeVito for sure.
Sure, definitely, man.
Even Jack Nicholson being the Joker, there is a little thing right there in Gotham I noticed. The two brothers, one of them was Jerome, the other one was someone else leaving whatever. He was a bit crazy. He got killed, and then he, gassed his brother.
And then he went on to Joker. And then he went on to do a game where his teacher was killed by his coworkers. But
check this out. Black Widow is already up online in 4K.
Oh my god!
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It's been
It's 4 minutes.
It's been 6 hours for me relative because
how do they get it that quickly?
So the people that are able to rip it like that, they're able to get into, like, I don't know how they do it, but from how it was kind of explained to me was they're able to get into the source code and just download it directly.
Yeah, we had this, I think Enosh and I on the stream last night. I think we all had a conversation about how to. Can you do this? I think was a question that came up. It might have been that stream. It might have been something else. But yeah.
Can you
getting into a digital?
Oh, that question was asked of me last night.
That was it. I apologize.
And I'm like, there's no way to do it. And I know Melissa, when she was here, she was saying oh no, if you have admin access, no, there's no outport for one. Those, those are all encrypted. There's key codes. You're not going to be able to get into those hard drives unless you have very, 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 good. I don't know. They monitor that shit like crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Remember there was when they were going to do the satellite streaming, because that was a big thing for a while. And the satellite streaming was people were paranoid about someone just pointing a satellite or an antenna at the direction of the stream, and then just pirating the movie that way, of being able to just rip it out of the air. Dude, these are encrypted files. You're not going to be able to uncrypt them without the key code. And the key code is going to be something that's going to be a lot of times theaters don't even get emailed. They get emailed the key code now. And they have to put it on a dongle. They get emailed the file. They have to move it to a USB drive, take it out, put it into the projector, and the projector will then read it and then unlock the file. And then here's the thing. They can actually, those key codes, they're time sensitive. What I mean by that is they can sit there and go, this code is only active for literally a day. Okay. And then, even when you have to because you still have to preview they still do allow for the previews of the HD films of the digital, to make sure that the file isn't corrupt. But even then they'll sit there and they'll restrict you to you can't do it until after 12:01 a.m. on this date. And it's only active for 6 hours. So it's you got to watch it in that time period.
Okay.
So it's they encrypt the hell out of this stuff. And so as far as I know, I know how to plug in a PlayStation 4 to a projector and play on that. That's actually really simple because that's routing something through. Wow. That's routing something through. But when you're trying to extract a file, no one in piracy has been able to do it. If they were able to figure it out, believe me, it would have already been done multiple times.
Yeah.
I know you can hook up a DVD player to a projector screen. My sister's done that at her house. That blew my mind. She had a projector, just, hey, pull that down here. Let's watch a movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm like, that's genius.
Well, all right. Hey, man, I'm going to let you go, Jedi, and we'll talk again soon. All right, man?
Oh, one other thing.
Yeah.
before you take me, I did notice this. Out of print, Michael Keaton also did well as a Vulture. Don't worry. I was very impressed with that role with him, too. That was actually very good. That was one of the reasons I watched Spider-Man. I wanted to see how well he did. So he did good as a villain there. I was really happy. So.
All right. Yeah, Vulture's good.
No, it's a great villain for sure.
All right, we'll see you later, buddy. Thank you very much for coming on in. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then let's see here. H-Bart's here with $5 says Orlando calls Michael Keaton Michael Keegan, and his most famous role is the Founder. Well, I mean, he was in the Founder. Michael Keaton was in
Who is Orlando?
Orlando is H-Bart's coworker.
Oh, okay.
He's been hanging out with the last couple nights, and so.
Oh, I thought it was like the city of Orlando.
No. I know. I had to ask him that myself the other night. I had to really ask him about that. I'm like, what exactly is the Founder here? So there's that. Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. And then, all right, finally, what's going on? Dark Beast, how you doing, man?
Hey, not too bad. How you doing, Matt?
Doing all right. Just getting ready for some Bad Batch. So I gotta get this thing on the road.
Yeah, the What If show looks pretty decent. It is confirmed for at least 2 seasons because they're going to do 1 episode for every MCU film.
Oh, okay. I mean, we're well. I mean, for every MCU film or every MCU character.
No, every MCU film, just with a twist. Like
because the concept of What If is like it's a pivotal moment in each MCU movie, apparently.
Okay,
that should be fascinating.
Maybe they'll do them like one per. Like sort of a season for each phase or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Well, it can't be for one for each phase because there wasn't 10 movies in the first phase, but
yeah. Well, and there's also like we saw, Guardians of the Galaxy, which was phase 2.
Yeah,
was it?
Phase 2, and then what else did we see? Like, because I know Avengers ended phase 1.
Age of Ultron was in there too, and that was phase 2.
Yeah, he had the Infinity Stones in his chest.
Oh, that sounds neat.
So they definitely are doing quite a bit. They're definitely doing quite a bit.
Honestly, I'm gonna say this real quick. Like with how much DC prioritizes animation, how the heck did they not think of let's do an Elseworlds cartoon? Like
no
this?
Kidding.
Like because DC pioneered the Elseworlds stories. What If was a comic back in the day, but.
Of course, I didn't think of it. It's the DCU or whatever that's called.
Yeah. Oh, did you guys happen to see Ray Fisher's tweet today?
No, I did not.
I usually follow it though.
Yeah, like, oh my god, I'm so fucking over this nonsense. I'll tell you that right now. Like, I read his tweet and he's all like, "Oh, Toby Emmerich is the common denominator here," and I'm like, oh my god. Because again, like, it's just at this point, I'm sorry, like, Ray, shut the fuck up. Like, what are you doing? You're just, if you look at the whole situation with the Friday movies, they've been with New Line since 1995.
Wait. Just for context, what's the context of like the tweet and what was in the response to?
So what it is, okay, so Ice Cube has been in a kind of a bit of a public fight with Warner Brothers over the next Friday movie, tentatively titled Last Friday, which would probably be like the last Friday movie coming out 30 years after the release of the first one.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, I'm a big Friday fan. Friday, next Friday, Friday after next. Love those movies. I've been a fan ever since I first saw the first film back in 95. Like, even have the soundtrack. I memorized the soundtrack. Like, that's how much I was a fan of that movie. And the thing is, though, it's like there's creative differences right now that are happening. I don't know what those creative differences are. Ice Cube is out there claiming that they're not. He's saying like, "Hey, relinquish control and give me the rights to this franchise." And Warner's is like, "No." And
I saw the tweets where he was like, he took the idea of Ride Along to Warner Brothers, but they said no because 2 black men can't lead this action comedy, and then he took it to Universal. They made all this money.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. Is like that. I actually do believe on Warner Brothers' part. Being that stupid or short-sighted 100%.
I can believe it.
But it's also, I also somewhat think that Kevin Hart was a big factor in that because at the time he wasn't a proven win yet.
In 2017?
Ride Along came out before 2017, dude.
Was it when did it come out?
Ride Along was like 2013.
Was it? I could have sworn it was more
Ride
recent
Along was
than
2014.
Okay,
Wow,
okay, I was off by a year. But still,
When was-
2014 Kevin Hart was not Kevin Hart, like even 2017.
You know what? I'm probably thinking of Ride Along 2.
I think you're thinking Ride Along 2 because Ride Along 2, that was 2016, by the way.
Okay.
And then like Central Intelligence came out, I think 2015. Or no, that was 2016. And then, you know, so you started seeing a lot more Kevin Hart movies pop up around that time, as well as doing a lot more of the stage shows and going and kind of blowing up that way. But 2014 Kevin Hart was not that confirmed yet. So it's entirely possible that that's the situation that they're dealing with. Now, another thing that he wants is the rights to the All About the Benjamins, which was that came out, I think, early 2000s. All About the Benjamins, 2002 movie. That's another New Line film, and that's got like, you know, Mike Epps, again, them starring together after being in Next Friday together. And that's a pretty funny movie. I really enjoyed All About the Benjamins, but again, it's owned by New Line and Warner Brothers. And then also The Players Club, which is, I think, a movie that Ice Cube directed in 1998 that he also wants to, he directed it. And he wants control of that movie as well. And those are, again, also owned by Warner Brothers. And they're just like, look, this is what we have. These are ours. You know the deal. And so he's trying to use public pressure, I think, to get them. And now here comes Ray Fisher, and Ray Fisher's bombing on in there, and he's going like, well, Toby Emmerich is, you know, involved in these race relation issues. And it's like, okay, for one, like, what are you doing? I'm serious at this point. Like, what are you doing? What do you want?
Well, I think that the idea is that it's continuing to expose the hypocritical nature of Warner Brothers.
What is it?
Make these mistakes and these errors in racial.
But here's the thing, though. But here's the thing. What exactly? But you got it. This is the thing. It's so effing vague at this point, and it comes across as just like nitpicky and bitchy, and that's kind of the whole issue that I'm having with it. It's like,
but don't you think there's like a weird problem that seems to be ongoing though?
Well,
like,
see, but
late at this point.
Well, I mean, but then again, like if we apply that to the Snyder Cut, and then there's a whole thing about like the people of color that were being removed from the film, and that's been a narrative within the Snyder Cut fandom for a while now. Never mind Ann Sarnoff saying that those decisions to remove those characters were already made before Joss Whedon took over, which if you look at those characters and their relation to the film and the runtime that Kevin Tushihara had pushed for, it makes the most sense that those characters.
But who was in charge of that production before Joss Whedon got involved though? Was it not Toby Emmerich?
But keep in mind that Toby Emmerich had to listen to an edict from his boss, which was, I want a 2-hour movie and nothing more. So coming out and trying to argue that is like blatant racism or anything like that, I've watched Snyder Cut multiple times. Those characters are good. Ryan Troy was awesome. I liked more of the Cyborg stuff. We got a lot of good stuff out of that. But at the same time, I could totally see those characters being cut to the side because it was trying to whittle a 4-hour movie down into 2 hours. And the thing is had Zack Snyder not stepped down, those characters would have been removed anyway. They would have been removed anyway. So I find the argument to be absolutely dumbfounding at this point, because it's like, if you know anything about, the thing is, look, I'm just saying, a lot of people in the Snyder Cut fandom don't pay attention. They just don't pay attention. And I think because of that, they're able to be wielded as a bit of a social media weapon, because they don't pay attention and they blindly retweet and they comment without understanding how anything works, or looking past anything on the surface level. So, because the thing is, I want Ice Cube to make these movies. I want him to do it on his own accord. But there's business factors here, and it's not as easy as people out there think that it is, because this is not how the industry operates. You know, it's kind of like, for example, when we talked about the rights for Spider-Man with Tom Holland, Sony and Marvel share that. Neither one can operate those characters independently of the other, because that's how the rights break down. Yeah. And that was the agreement. And it sucks and it's frustrating. And a lot of people out there don't like it. I don't like it, but that's what they came to the agreement on in order to make it happen.
Yeah. I mean, I live with it, I guess. But I mean, my thing is it's a continued weird pattern of behavior though, because to me, it just seems like I'm not saying that maybe it's not purposeful on their part, but it's like Lovecraft Country gets canceled, then you have this Friday stuff, then you have the Ray
Lovecraft
Fisher
Country
stuff.
never got canceled. Lovecraft Country was a limited series. It was a limited series from the get-go. There was hopes of putting it for another season. It's like Watchmen. Watchmen didn't get canceled. Damon Lindelof just wanted to do those 10 episodes, and that was it.
Okay.
Lovecraft Country is a book. They ended they ended it.
And there was ideas for it.
There was ideas to continue if that's what they wanted, but it was originally pitched as simply a limited series.
Now, and the one thing I believe the reason why it had such a heavy cast of color, but I do believe there was a purpose for that, if memory serves correctly. It had to do with the fact that there is evidence, basically in letters and so forth, that like Lovecraft was an avowed racist and segregationist, and I think that was kind of like the purpose of the cast of color. I could be wrong, but like that might have been it. It's irrelevant to the quality of the show, but like I think that might have been the reason.
Well, there were so many people that were trying to argue. Look, every year there is some kind of let's cancel HP Lovecraft movement that happens. Someone writes an article at some point in time, and literally, you can Google HP Lovecraft and go back year from year.
I understand. That's why they. Yeah. That's why they changed the World Fantasy Award, because it was originally a bust of Lovecraft. It is now something different.
Well, his cat's name was the N-word, so.
Yeah, no. Well, I completely think that H.P. Lovecraft
was abhorrent. He was
had very bad opinions,
morally speaking.
Yeah, and so at no point in time, there's no real defending him.
There's no defending Lovecraft's statements because it's not ambiguous. he was out and about with it.
To go back to the Ray Fisher. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was saying H Bar's here $2. Say don't poke the bear. Yeah, pretty much.
But that was my fault. I forgot to let you.
Yeah, Matt. Yeah, Matt. Why are you poking the bear?
Can we poke the boss, baby?
Bear?
No, it's a Dark Beast. It's a running joke about sort of Jarbo intentionally or unintentionally not misquoting but misunderstanding the term of poking the bear. This was over on.
No. I didn't misunderstand the term of poking the bear.
I'm not saying you didn't. I'm just saying this.
I'm not the one who lost my mind over that. But
I'm not saying you did. I'm just saying that's where the joke began.
The joke definitely originated over there, but like that wasn't.
Speaking of the Ray Fisher thing, real quick, Ice Cube did respond to Ray Fisher.
Yeah.
With the emoji.
And I'm sure that Emmerich has something to do with it, but it's like, but again, it comes across as just like it's vague. Emmerich is a business guy. He's a company man, so it's like look at it from that perspective, And
I guess my question is like, then what should Ray Fisher do then? If
move
no one's
the fuck on.
But if no one else is gonna call out,
move it on, man. At this point, he shot his shot. What does he want? That's where I'm at with this. What does he want?
The one statement where he has actually been at least somewhat, what's the word I'm looking for, precise in his argument or in his statement, was he wants a formal apology from Warner Media for two past and present people of color due to the actions on the.
And you know what? And here's the thing: absolutely deserves that, and they should just do it. Did they believe it? Did they believe it? No, they don't. They wouldn't. Here's the thing: the reality of it is these companies are not going. They're not going to make those claims. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it publicly. All right, but I'm saying like look at how Ray Fisher came out. First, it was Jeff Johns going after. And it was a little Joss Whedon, but mostly Jeff Johns. And then that whole thing died down. So then he went, Walter Hamada, one time and Sarnoff, Walter Hamada. Now it's Toby Emmerich. So it's like he's just continue. It's like when one fails, he's just picking another target. And I get it. He's got beef with this company. I understand that. I agree with Scott Mendelson that they should simply pay him, like cut him a check for like $2 million, put him up someplace else and be done with it. Because at the end of the day,
Emmerich, you mean?
Yeah. Like Emmerich, Warner should just honestly like pay for him to go away because he's not going to.
The question is though, like that brings up the whole point. Well, you're just going to buy him out so he won't complain or like voice his concerns ever again.
But his concerns have already been addressed. His concerns were, this is my concern over what happened. Okay, they go, okay, we're going to conduct an independent investigation. They conduct an independent investigation. You know, like, yeah, are they a little shady about it? Yeah, sure. Do they want to cover their ass? Yeah, sure. He calls them out. He keeps them on point. Okay, great. They conduct the investigation. They come out and they say that remedial action has been taken and Joss Whedon is no longer with the company.
Well, I guess my thing is that if it really was solved to where he's satify, he wouldn't keep talking about it. Like there's obviously stuff still going on.
I think Emmerich. I think honestly, as far as if you want to sort of make the argument more precise, I think honestly, the last thing that not in sort of a bad way, but I'm saying that the final thing that needs to be done is honestly considering that Johns is no longer in a leadership role, Whedon is no longer working for the company directly or as a showrunner on the Nevers. I honestly think, like you said, or I think what they need to do is Emmerich, assuming that he doesn't get laid off due to the merger, should just kind of cut ties with him and let him do something else.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, I mean, I think at this point, like, Ray is not going to get what he wants. He's just not going to get it. And
maybe at this point he knows that though. Maybe it's just about continuing.
Yeah, no, and he's got nothing to lose on it. He's got nothing to lose on it, and all things considered. But you know, the thing is though, the way I view it is, I'm like, all right, well, like, give me a reason. Like, give me a reason at this point. Don't just come out and you had a reason. It was good. You got what you wanted. Okay. Like, like, what more do you want? There's nothing more we can really do about it. And I think at this point, it's like he's not happy. He's not going to move on. But life doesn't always work out the way you want it to. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. You know, there's a lot of injustices in the world that never get answered for. So you can fight to stop other injustices, which is something that he may be trying. But you have to think about it. Are you going to be better off trying to force Warner, that's about ready to go into its third company change in the last 3 years?
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous, by the way.
It is. Oh, no. AT&T dropped the ball 100% on this one. And now they're moving on. They're trying to get rid of it because it's going to be, it might be, cutting into their profits on their telecom company.
Well, that's why they dropped it. Basically the debt was too large. They said it. Like, basically that's why we need the merger just to keep.
They didn't push HBO Max well enough. They bungled rollout, confusing platforms or confusing tiers and everything else.
And not just confusing tiers, but the fact is with respect to global licensing arrangements that had been made by HBO before they acquired Warner Brothers, you had an issue with HBO content getting on there, and the fact that, like I said, as a Canadian, I don't have HBO Max, not because of a moral level. We physically do not have the platform here. There are multiple countries around the world that don't have the thing. It's not like it's not even like Disney Plus, where they said, okay, we're going to roll out in the US first, couple of extra markets in about 3 months, and then the rest of the world within the next fiscal year. That at least was a nice enough plan. HBO Max has not done that, or it doesn't even seem like they've made steps to do that yet.
I mean, look at Harry Potter. They lost those movies for a little bit to Peacock. Like, that was a huge bubble on their part.
Odd. Like, those are Warner films. You know what I mean? Like, it's very strange that they're on another platform like that. It's not like.
Well, Mad Max left HBO Max today. Mad Max Fury Road left HBO Max.
I thought for a moment you meant Mad Max The Mandalorian. I was like, Mad Max left HBO Max. What?
No, Mad Max Fury Road, a Warner Brothers movie, left HBO Max today.
Where's it going?
I don't know where it's going, but it's like, I
don't see this happening with Disney Plus.
It won't happen with Disney Plus. They wholly own everything. Lone Ranger did get yeeted though. Lone Ranger got yeeted.
Was that for moral reasons? Or was that for like a business thing?
Well, I mean, I'm air quoting moral, but I think business.
You know what I like. You know what I mean.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
And then the only other films that I see don't necessarily have they don't have ambiguity because of, then maybe they'll come over shortly. But considering, like, relative to, for example, Iron Man, which was a Paramount film, that's on Disney Plus, but that's because it's under Marvel Studios. The films that I'm surprised, or not surprised, but I expect they'll be over soon enough from Paramount Plus, assuming if they don't stay over there, are the Indiana Jones films because they are Lucasfilm Productions, aren't they? Am I wrong?
But they are, the distribution on those are owned by Paramount.
Oh, they still have the rights.
They still have for the first 4 films. They got that.
Yeah.
So that's why getting a box set of Indiana Jones 1 through 5 or whatever is going to be very difficult to do.
Oh yeah, because that's now
So
well, that was the problem that they had to deal with for Star Wars. It took them like 3 years to get the whole, or like two years to kind of get all the rights worked out for getting everything.
Do you think
over.
Disney will eventually buy out all of Indiana Jones to own those other 4 movies?
I don't think they'll buy them out. I think it's probably, if anything, the way the contract worked with the acquisition of Lucasfilm, there's probably some sort of rights thing that either will revert, or if they do have to buy them out, it will be after a certain amount of time has been put into place, assuming that Paramount hasn't extended some sort of contract, considering they have Paramount Plus now.
Yeah.
I don't think it's wheezing. I think it's. Are we talking
like a wrestling noise or something?
Yeah, Hank, is that you?
I don't think so.
Maybe it's like, is there birds in one of you guys'?
Yeah, because it's not me, because I just muted myself. So
hang on.
Yeah, I'm not hearing it, but I muted Hank real quick.
I hear nothing.
Okay.
I'm going to mute myself.
That StreamYard messes up. But anyway, here's the thing with this. It's like, hold on here. Kira says, I just want to say, if you guys are ever looking for something, just go to justwatch.com. I'm not shilling, but it's a useful tool.
Here's the thing. The Richard actually recommended that to me. I have that downloaded on my McKay phone and my other phone. It is actually really useful. Basically, what you do is you select your region. You can select all the streaming services you own. And then you can basically put in a film in the search engine, and it'll tell you if it's available on those services or not.
Oh, okay.
And also, if it'll also include stuff like Google and Amazon and stuff like that. So it'll say not just only Prime, but you can buy or rent them here, as well as different streaming services, or not streaming services, but places where you can buy digital HD copies. So it'll include you can include those as well. I've got Crave and Netflix and stuff for me. So.
Now, Benson, I don't necessarily agree with you on this one.
I also disagree.
I see what you're trying to say. I don't think Ray destroyed his career. I think
if he destroyed it, he wouldn't be getting work. He's doing an ABC show and a bunch of other stuff. So,
well, is he doing a bunch of other stuff? I only know about the ABC stuff that's already filmed.
Apparently, there's some other things in the works. I mean, there is the rumor he's doing the next Christopher Nolan movie, which I don't know if you want to believe that rumor. But
who the fuck?
Who said it? B.
I think
has Nolan talked about
show. I don't remember. I just saw it circulating a couple days ago. That hashtag show, or maybe I got the wrong website. I don't remember.
I don't know. I don't. I mean, look, I don't think he destroyed his career, but it is going to take a bit of a hit for a while. So he might work with some smaller stuff, and he'll go back to acting in Broadway. He'll go do theater work.
And here's the thing. Oh, there you go. Found it. Here's the thing. With respect to Ray Fisher. Even he has said, with respect to his filmmaking career, he doesn't really care. He's like, this is nice what I'm doing, but if I don't do this, if I don't make a lot of money monetarily, gain a lot of stuff monetarily, that's okay with me. So if he goes back to New York, he goes back to New York. If he goes, and does work in the West End or something like that, that would be his thing. Or if he even dips out of the filmmaking or even acting in general, he really doesn't care. But with respect to just be real quick, RJ, with respect to that Nolan thing, it appears to be the source was Giant Freaking Robots source.
That's the one. Giant Freaking Robot. Yeah, that's
Giant Freaking Robots information from one of their quote unquote trusted and proven sources. And they have the list of their confirmed things. So, their scoop about allegedly, they scooped about ARGYLLE. They allegedly scooped about Tom Welling doing Smallville again. Wedding Crashers 2 happening or something like that. It's just going down the list of, what their scooper has allegedly confirmed.
Okay. I mean.
I was going to mention, I still think Ray will probably get cast in Zack Snyder stuff on Netflix. I think he will work with them again.
I could see that happening. Yeah, I think he'll have a prominent role in Rebel Moon. Yeah,
I hope so.
I don't see Netflix saying no to that. Because they don't care. Netflix literally doesn't care about ratings or any of that shit.
Netflix
like they want to win
just-
awards.
Yeah, no, what they want is awards and subscriber growth.
Yeah,
want to
well,
see
but their
numbers.
subscriber growth is getting hit. So it's like, I mean, they're not eventually Netflix is going to hit the wall. I mean, they're like I think.
Else.
But then what do you do when you hit the wall, though?
Fuck if I know. Disney's putting up $30 billion a year in content. $30 billion
We're going to find out. I think with respect to hitting the wall, we're going to find out in 10 years. I think is when we're really going to.
I think less than that. I'm thinking 5 years.
But I mean,
I'm being more kind of generous with my timeline.
Well, look at the content right now. That I mean, they just dropped like the Resident Evil series today, whatever it's called.
Yeah, was it Infinite Darkness?
Yeah, something like Darkness. That. And isn't it just like someone said it's a remake of Degeneration or something? I saw that on Twitter. I have no idea.
I don't think that's true. I heard it's only like 4 30-minute episodes.
Yeah, it's a short. It's a short, and it's like, okay, cool. Like I was excited that a Resident Evil show was coming to Netflix. Like, oh, dope! Like awesome Resident Evil, and then like the reviews have just been tearing it apart.
Well,
and I'm like,
they did that for every Resident Evil animated movie, though. To be fair,
no. Yeah. I'm not saying that for Resident Evil. I'm saying in horror has never been well reviewed outside of the realm of video games. It really hasn't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I saw like the articles attacking the new Resident Evil show for how bad it was, but then I saw this counter narrative pop up from Capcom talking about how popular Resident Evil: The Village was, with over like 4.86 million copies sold.
Oh, the video game, yeah.
That's a terrible counter narrative. Like it's different.
It's totally different. It's totally different. Absolutely.
Game, by the way. Great
but
game.
It's I've seen some people play it. It looks pretty fun. I know on Games Pass, Resident Evil 7's on there. I haven't played that one yet, so I'm going to play that one first. And once I'm done with Skyrim, which will take me probably another year.
Oh, you're finally doing. You're actually.
Oh yeah, I'm on. I accidentally ended up over there on Solstheim, doing the Dragonborn DLC, and like I didn't even realize it was that until now I'm just on there, and my OCD is kicking in, and so I'm trying to like do all the side missions, and I'm like, I've been here for days. But I like it though. I was hunting down. I was just, I've been like, I came across an old orc, and this old orc's like, I'm out here to die. I'm like, why do you want to die? It's like, because I'm old. I cannot take a wife or bear children. But so I can still die in my prime, unlike humans, which like to live to old and feeble ages. And I'm like, yeah, like you want me to kill you? And he's like, ha ha ha, you can try. And I'm like, all right.
You know what though? Shifty does bring up a good point. If they don't care about ratings, why the crap did they cancel?
You know what was so strange about the timing? Wasn't it like it was the next day after it was nominated for an Emmy? And I'm just
like, why do they? Wow. Oh, because Dark Crystal it's expensive, but
it is incredibly expensive.
Well, I should say ratings. I should say ratings. I meant like review scores ultimately.
Yeah,
but I think Dark Crystal was done well.
It reviewed very well.
Expensive. And I think it was just probably at the time Netflix hadn't fully committed to kind of buying in. I mean, now you've got a big expansion into anime. You've got,
God, the anime is huge. You've got them
throwing. You've got them throwing now 2 potential franchises at Snyder. Letting Snyder do 2 potential franchises.
Look at the deal they
in
just
Rebel
made
Moon,
Powerhouse
Army,
Animation to do more Castlevania and more original series like He-Man and all that.
God, the He-Man thing is going to be like. So I'm on. I joined a He-Man group on Facebook, and because the animation executive over at Netflix like hangs out in there.
Oh, nice.
And that was the guy that like the Fandom Menace were like they were trying to like quote mine him about like how like he turned King Grayskull into a black guy, and like. And the thing is though, and Kevin Smith finally kind of summarized it. He's like, look, we don't have the rights to the Funimation stuff. All right. We don't have the rights to that.
The Filmation stuff. Yeah.
The Filmation. Yeah. Thank you. Filmation.
I was like, because when I saw Funimation, I'm like, what? Funimation bought He-Man?
Yeah. I was like, what? I know. I must have just got it mixed up in my mind.
It's okay. Well, they're very similar names.
Revelation is not called He-Man. Right.
It's called Masters of the Universe.
Yeah. And so it's a spiritual sequel to the show. And that's what it is. So it's like, but all 65 episodes or 64 episodes, I think, because one's like a 2-parter that's back to back. But anyway, I found a playlist on YouTube that's got like all the episodes. So I'm going to try to like put these on like when my kids are up, because it's not a bad show to play. Like they're not going to understand. Like I'll try to watch more He-Man.
Plus, I think is it not on a streaming service?
No.
I could have sworn He-Man was on Netflix for a time.
I'll have to go find me a Well, no, I think the 2001 He-Man was on Netflix, but I don't think like.
Well, Sony sold the Netflix. Sony sold the He-Man movie that they were doing with Noah Centineo to Netflix like last year because they were trying to get it out. They've been trying to get He-Man movie out for a long time, and then Noah Centineo dropped out of the project. And
Thank God.
Noah Centineo looks nothing like Prince Adam.
I know. That's why I'm sorry.
Because he was going to do. I think he was going to do Black Adam anyway. So.
Well, yeah, he left to go do Black Adam, but it's like.
Oh, we lost Matt.
Oh, okay. I can't tell anymore considering I've dropped out a couple of
times.
times.
Really? It's not even telling me it's
been dropping you out like 2 or 3 times already.
Okay. God damn it. Like it's not telling me that. Like I got the new wireless router or wireless network extender and or adapter, whatever you want to call it. And so it's like I'm not showing anything. Okay, Mo Moon here, $2 here says Netflix is making Beastars just from Manager.
Hey, Beastars season 2 is coming out.
Yeah, I know. We've talked a lot about Beastars this week for some fucking reason.
Speaking of, did you ever watch that trailer I gave
you? For Beastars?
No, for Boy and the Beast.
No.
I actually do want to watch that.
Did you put it on the Discord? Is it in the Discord?
No, I gave it to you in chat the other night. You're gonna watch it after.
If I remember, dude.
I gotta go watch me some hosted stuff because I've. How much hosted have you seen, RJ?
A lot. I'll leave it at that.
Well, it's good. Like I've been waiting to watch. I've been waiting to watch Wolf Children. I've been kind of putting it off because it's kind of one of those like. I've been told you have to emotionally prepare for the ending of that movie.
Yes,
I just love the way that he was like, I've watched way too much.
There's not too much. He is a really good animator. And
some people call him the next Miyazaki in some regards.
Yeah, well, I've seen people talk about Shinkai more as the next Miyazaki than
they call him both. Yeah, they call him both.
Well, did anyone here see that Earwig and the Itch?
I have not seen it.
No, I don't want to watch it, to be honest.
I watched it. It was like bad until the last 5. Like as soon as it started getting good, it was over.
Oh.
Like literally, it literally ends on a cliffhanger and you're like, oh, son of a bitch. But if it does well enough, I mean, they're going to do.
As a first CGI movie for Ghibli, it was not
like,
that good.
Like honestly, like I hate Howl's Moving Castle. Like I fucking despise that movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like the animation is amazing. The story is god awful. I hate the story.
The story's not god awful.
It's so terrible.
No,
it's so bad. It's so boring.
You take it.
Howl is such a fun. It's like the worst Studio Ghibli film. You know what I mean?
No.
Like,
interesting anime questions. Speaking of interesting anime questions, Andrew Dunbar has a super chat.
I see that here, yes. Asking the hard questions, like why aren't there more anime like Cowboy Bebop? The world must know the answer to this question because it takes time to make that kind of
there
stuff.
Are
and also define like Cowboy Bebop. Are you talking animation style? Are you talking genre? Are you talking plot synopsis? Like that's an interesting question.
The music.
Well, speaking of anime, at the PlayStation State of Play, they showed off the Demon Slayer video game.
I saw bits of that.
Oh yeah, I tried watching that today because I wanted to get to the Deathloop stuff, but then like
they've been showing off Deathloop way too much. Like stop showing the game.
What do you mean? They barely showed off anything.
They showed nothing.
It keeps popping up at every single freaking like.
Yeah, because that's going to be like supposed to be like the killer app of like the fall.
Yeah, and that's the other thing was so funny. It was so funny. It was so funny. I went over to Pop Culture Corner to watch. Because they were doing a live stream of it. I just finished up recording something with Enosh. I popped over there. They did Deathloop, and then the State of Play was over. I'm like,
yeah, it ended with like a whimper.
And then the next thing was I go to Twitter, and the first tweet I see is from you, RJ. That's it. LMAO.
But I mean, I feel the same way about every Nintendo Direct. Like,
no,
I cannot watch Nintendo Directs anymore.
The last couple of Nintendo Directs been fantastic, though.
I'm bored. I'm bored to tears.
They showed WoW2, Splatoon 3.
Well, no. He's talking. I think I'm assuming if you
show me it's like the individual stuff. Yeah,
Danganronpa on Switch. Come on.
If you pardon me for assuming, it's kind of like you wanted to see more sort of interesting, not necessarily the video games, but the stuff around it. Would that be correct?
Well, no. Well, it's like the thing with like the thing I dislike about Nintendo Direct is like it comes across as very dry, and like at least with Sony, it was like. Okay, we're not going to like cut over to some random developer and then do like these really like just, oh my God, like monotone subs or dubs, and you're like, just get to the point.
I'd honestly rather, to be perfectly honest, I know they do dubs. And and I'm not saying this. I know this is
you want to see it subtitled. I'd rather see it subtitled.
I know it's
the reason they don't is for
I know it's a running joke. I know it's a running joke amongst anime fans, but like, it's true. I think it would work better in this case. Just for
the reason why they don't though is because there's Nintendo fans who like they can't read subtitles because they're like they're blind or something. Or...
You're telling me that Nintendo fans can't read?
Well, yeah, that too.
I kind of get that. Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
I know. To me, I feel like the Nintendo Directs have more personality than these Sony State of Plays. That's just my perspective, though.
I think Nintendo fans are held captive at this point, right? I think they're held captive because Nintendo's like, here, we're gonna put out this like really look, Nintendo Treehouse, awesome. Okay.
What, you like the Treehouse where it's something about talking over gameplay footage while they explain stuff?
No, because they're showing fucking gameplay footage. It's not like 8 minutes of this dude of like subtitles from like, we wanted to make this game because here's point A, point B. It's all the same corporate bullshit.
And they're all the same corporate bullshit. It's not it's not like the dude off to the side on like a Sony the Sony thing where he's just standing off to the side, quote unquote, playing the game. Like, look at like No Man's Sky or other games like that. Apparently No Man's Sky is actually quite good with respect to what it is now.
It's the best redemption arc you'll ever find in gaming.
Yeah, there's actually a wonderful video on YouTube chronicling the redemption arc. It's actually
by Internet Historian. Yeah, that was really good. And
I've not checked out Internet Historian. I'm familiar with Gaming Historian, but not Internet Historian.
I'm just saying, it's like I prefer the Treehouse because it's like you actually get to see interaction with the product versus something that is just like overproduced and boring. And Nintendo, like, look, if they want to make it better, like, look, the thing is, Nintendo needs to like stop being Nintendo. Sony made the wise call.
I'm telling you, stop being Nintendo means they won't be successful.
Nah, bullshit. They'll still be fine. People are going to buy it anyway, dude. Nintendo is the master at reselling you things you already have. Like, look, I'm just going to put it to like this. You could, like, let's say, for example, you lose your virginity, right? And you wear a condom when you lose your virginity, and that condom just gets thrown into the trash. Somehow Nintendo will find that condom, and they will sit there and they'll present it in a way to sell it back to you, because they'll be like, remember that first time you felt a vagina around your penis? We can replicate that with this. It's great because there's also a freaking amiibo that goes on your Switch controller and it activates rubbery, the condom in the game. Like, they sell you everything. How many times have you bought Ocarina of Time? How many times have you repurchased all of these games? Nintendo at this point needs to get the fuck out of Japan and move over to like Sony. Sony went from Japan to LA, and their games, their first party titles have gotten way better.
Some people would say though that that's been a detriment to the company because they've lost a little bit of the magic. They've shut down.
Oh, the magic, my ass.
Hey, hold on though. I'm not getting Gravity Rush 3, so Sony can go screw themselves. I want Gravity Rush 3.
Anyways,
I mean, I haven't gotten another fucking Siphon Filter game, so it's
I'm
like
gonna bring this around real quick. It's like, as far as like the kind of offing themselves, I know like a traditional term is in for samurai culture is seppuku. Speaking of samurai, Mark Benson has a super chat.
I see that here. Thank you very much. Have I watched all 4 Kenshin movies? No, I've just seen like. I haven't. You guys might have. I haven't.
I actually have not, because as far as I know, like, Mark, you can comment in chat. Those are live action Kenshin movies, right? But yes,
I think those are live action. Yeah.
But yeah, but yes.
I guess my thing with Sony is that, at least from what I've noticed, like Sony Japan, whether you like them or not, they made a lot of unique, interesting video games. I get concerned that they're trying way too much to make everything like a giant AAA, like open world, like narrative driven stuff. Like, I want variety from Sony.
Okay, and then
that's my only concern.
No, yeah. I get that, and that's
why
fine.
Like losing that Japan touch sometimes. You can argue whether or not Japan makes great business decisions, but they know how to make video games.
No, they know how to make RPGs. That's what they know how to make.
No,
right.
look at well, you don't have a PS5, but look at the freaking Astrobot thing. That's a Japan-made game. It's absolutely fantastic. It's a demo game.
Astrobot. What is that?
Yeah, for PS5. It's the built-in game for PS5.
Oh yes, and then I'll quickly read this out while you're looking that up, Jarbo. Was Andrew Dunbar's $10 super chat elaborating
Thank you very much,
elaborating on what we said earlier. I see a dearth of anime of the same thematic seriousness. We're referring to Bebop. I mean, Jindo and Perfect Blue are perfect examples of what I'm trying to get at. So I understand now. Okay, so yeah, I think more than anything else, that's sort of like the narrative decisions by the creatives more than anything else. It could be the way that the anime industry is shifting. It could just be we're all kind of waiting for the one person to have that kind of vision. But that's sort of my opinion on it.
Okay. I mean, like, I would like to see like I like solid drama in anime. You know, like I like it when it's a good story and good performances. Like I prefer
it's like any medium in that respect.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, you guys may not think this about me, but it's like you might think, oh, Matt's all into dubs. Ah, fuck that. I'm into subs, dude.
So am I.
Like I mean, the thing is, it's like I think I for one, like the language of Japanese I like quite a bit. Yeah. And the emotion that a lot of those actors portray are fantastic. And like seeing it in its original performance, I would rather have just dubs or subs and then read it because that way I don't miss out on the intensity of it. And also, like, I'll be fair, I don't like how a lot of the dubbing that comes across in this country, like they rewrite stories. They'll rewrite parts of stories and they'll add, like, there was like a game.
Not as obvious as you think, though. That was like some stuff in 2014 that gets overblown.
It's kind of like I don't know. Like I'm not against. I know people who are like. Are you guys Naruto fans?
I've watched it. But it's
I know of it. Yes.
Okay, so like Guy Sensei, right? The character Guy Sensei.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Like the voice actor is a dude named Skip Skelrecht, and like we shot a short film at my house in San Diego.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So it's like I've met voice actors who do this kind of stuff, and like no, like I mean nothing against the talent.
Yeah.
I would love to get into voice acting work myself, like announcing stuff. Right. And it's like, no, it's good talent to do. But I think from just like I don't want to say a purist perspective, but it's like I could not watch a dubbed version of Battle Royale. I could not watch a dubbed version of like, I don't know, fucking Versus. Oh, hell no.
I have only ever seen recommended to me, at least. I have only ever seen 2 dubs recommended to me over the subs, and that's Bebop and that's Baccano. And the reason Baccano was Baccano was recommended to me. It could have been another anime, I have to double check, was because of the fact that the show takes place in America and largely takes place in mostly America. So you get all the different sort of American regional accents that work better in like an English context than they would try to deal with it in Japanese.
Dub, I would say, is superior. Even Bebop, like Bebop, you could watch subtitles, but it's the dub. The dub is what's iconic about that show.
Yeah. Well, and that's where I'm really interested to see how the live action does.
What was the RJ will know this. What was that anime where the localizers were basically given carte blanche to do whatever?
Oh,
was that Ghost? Was it Ghost Stories?
Yeah, Ghost Stories.
Yeah.
Look up Ghost Stories on YouTube. It's hilarious. Like they didn't give a crap, and they just like, let's just make this the dumbest, worst thing possible for live.
Real quick, Seth Green has confirmed he is Howard the Duck.
Yeah.
But wait, really? Because Variety said he wasn't.
Nope. Seth Green says here, beyond excited to be a small, albeit foul, FOWL, part of this epic show.
That's cool to see him back for that. He was back for Toto for Bad Batch, and that was really cool. And
yeah, I was like, wait a minute, that's
that was really awesome.
Well, Variety didn't goof that because Variety said Howard the Duck was not going to be voiced by Seth Green.
All right, Seth Green is confirming it.
They goof every once in a while.
So does this mean that Brie Larson and Benedict Cumberbatch could be in the show?
I don't know. That didn't sound like Benedict Cumberbatch when I was listening to it.
It didn't sound like it either. It's possible, but I need to wait for.
It could also be possible. It could also be possible that that for the trailer that they changed out the voices for the trailer.
Yeah,
and then on the show.
It could just be a scratch track for the trailer.
Could be. That's true.
Well, no, I mean for like for like Tony Stark and Steve Rogers and stuff.
Yeah,
because it's like, I mean, I get why those guys would be out, but then having them in the trailer, I think if they were in the trailer, it would have been heavily criticized. I really do think that because people are like, oh, it doesn't matter, like it just doesn't matter. Anything anymore sort of thing because these people like to complain.
That's crazy though because Variety still has not updated their article. When was that tweet made?
3 hours ago.
You
literally just retweeted it.
Yeah, no, oh, okay, yeah. I wasn't paying attention when it got posted.
I'm looking at my Twitter feed and you literally just retweeted it.
So I was looking at the Variety article, like reading through it to make sure they didn't like update it or change it.
Was it best dubbed animes I've watched were Ranma 1/2. Ranma 1/2 I've seen a fair amount of.
I've actually never seen Ranma. I've seen.
It's funny. I will admit it's pretty funny.
I've heard it's really funny. The only one I've seen by that mangaka was Inuyasha. And I watched the anime. I've never read the manga though.
I don't know what that stuff is. I know Inuyasha. I know people who watch Inuyasha. I never watched it. Like
I should say I watched it. I think till about an arc before the anime stopped.
I think the last anime I watched really was that Godzilla one on Netflix because they had a Godzilla trilogy.
Yeah,
and
I heard those were terrible. I heard no pun intended. I heard those were god awful. I really heard they were terrible.
It made no fucking sense. It's it was such a weird thing, and then I just didn't care for it. I watched the first one. I still need to do the Transformers War for Cybertron. I just saw the trailer. The trailer for the third part just dropped, and the thing with that is Rooster Teeth actually created a whole studio division.
Rooster Teeth did that?
Yeah, Rooster Teeth.
Wow, good for Rooster Teeth.
They created a whole new studio division in order to be able to work the deal with Netflix because they were bought out. They're owned by Warner's, I think, at this point.
But apparently they're getting sold off. I heard.
Well, I think they're going. I think they're going into the Warner.
Buy them from? Because I thought they were working with Funimation. Or am I thinking of somebody else?
Let's see, Rooster.
Because Rooster Teeth were getting sold off from somebody, and somebody else bought them.
Otter Media owns them right now, and Otter Media is. Did Sony buy Otter Media? I don't know. No. I don't know. Maybe it's through Crunchyroll. I don't know.
Because if it's through Crunchyroll, then Crunchyroll's getting sold off to Sony.
Yeah. That makes sense, I guess. I mean, the thing is, Rooster Teeth has come a long way, you know.
Oh no, they definitely have.
I'll say this though, man.
my buddy went to theaters to go see Laser Team, and he liked it, and that was a long time ago. To show you how long
I never saw that one.
But it goes to show you how long it's been from where they were, right, to where they are now.
Speaking of Seth Green, real quick, did you guys see that he said Star Wars Detours will not be released anytime soon?
Yeah.
No, just from Disney Plus to release it.
Well, and the thing is, a couple of years ago, Disney renewed the trademark for it, and that made a lot of people question if it was going to be coming out. And it's look, Star Wars Detours should go to Hulu, I think, versus going to Disney Plus. And I think they should just drop it. Just put it out there.
Just drop it for May the 4th next year.
I think we got lucky, Canada wise, because of we had this thing called Disney Plus Star, the Star branding that a lot of the world's been getting. We got lucky on that front. So it's kind of like if Disney Plus and Hulu merged, and they just basically you can put as they uploaded it for the first time, as they dropped that chunk of the API, they basically just said, all right, here's a parental control. Do kids watch this or do kids not watch this on the account you have? And you can choose your parental control at the start before you even load the first time, and then it's just remembered. So I'm surprised that they haven't. Honestly, I understand why Disney have separated it, have certain shows for Disney Plus, certain for Hulu. But honestly, I think they should just kind of merge them, make charge a little more for Disney Plus, and kind of just do something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with you. Well, I think they are eventually going to merge Hulu once they own it entirely, which give them a couple years on that one.
What was who was owning it before?
It was actually split between a number of different Universal. So Warner Brothers had their stake in it, Disney had their stake in it, Fox had their stake in it. Warner's only had 10%. And it was mostly Disney and Fox and Universal.
And now that Disney owns Fox,
and they each own 30%. Yeah, and they each own 30%, with Warner's having 10%. And so then when Disney got Fox, they ended up getting that 30%. So they had a controlling stake. Then Warner Brothers sold off their 10% to Disney, giving Disney a 70-30 split. And then Comcast, which has, their Peacock network, but they have a deal with Disney for Disney to basically overtake Hulu for the next 5 years. And then after that point, this was a couple years ago. So like, I think, or maybe last year. So it's going to be like until 2024, 2025, somewhere in there. And then Disney's going to outright have full control over Hulu. And I think at that point, then it's going to merge into Disney Plus because they won't have any of the Comcast material on there. So like all of those shows like Superstore and whatever else is NBC owned is all going to be moved over to like, Peacock or maybe even HBO Max, depending on who the parent company is.
And hopefully they'll actually, hopefully they'll move hopefully here it'll be something similar, not with Hulu, because obviously we don't have Hulu here either, which is very strange. So I think once they kind of consolidate, they'll probably rebrand the Star stuff, and then kind of kick off what they need to do for because we have Peacock, we have Paramount Plus, we just don't have Hulu for whatever reason.
Yeah, well, that's just how like the rights situations break down. But real quick here to answer Bradley, Star Wars Detours is think like Robot Chicken and Family Guy, but tackling Star Wars. And
how much adult humor did it have? Was it a lot of adult humor?
Not from what I've seen.
Not really. Yeah,
some of the jokes I've seen.
That's why I'm wondering why. I thought the reason why you said it should go to Hulu was because of the adult humor.
Well, I mean, the thing is because I think people are going to have like the reality of it is this. The Star Wars Detours, they have like 36 episodes done, right? They've got 36 episodes that are completed, and they have the scripts that are done for like another 60 episodes, like another 64 episodes. They've got a lot of content done. The problem is Disney. Disney is just like basically saying like, no, we don't want you guys to do this, or we don't want to put it out, and it's like, why? Right. So here's the trailer for it. We'll check out the trailer real quick here.
And then while you're loading that, at least I'll read off Mark's super chat here. Benson's £2 super chat. Didn't enjoy Gundam Hathaway. Loved the Orphans. He's referring to Iron Blooded Orphans. Yeah, I've heard Iron Blooded Orphans is really good. I heard some great recommendations from a friend of mine. And I can't speak to Hathaway, but
I'm just curious. How is there a trailer of this if it never got released?
Because they were going to release, like
this was almost ready to come out.
Were they already like marketing it before the Disney?
Yeah,
they were in the process of doing stuff. Yeah, like I said, 30
the acquisition.
Yeah, it was like 36 episodes are done. They're done. Like a whole couple seasons are done.
Yeah, an episode actually slipped out too.
That's on here too, but it's like 6 minutes. These are short. They're short episodes.
It's pretty funny. Like it's actually some of the stuff. I love the matte painting joke. I still think is it's really funny to me.
Here, we'll check it out.
I think it's in the trailer.
Probably.
Let's check it out. Assuming we don't get you don't get struck or something for him.
I might be. Who knows?
You ready? Punch it! Yo, dudes, the Empire's pretty chill. Maybe you could, join it or something.
No. I left a message with your roommate, but your machine was full, so your landlord hung up on me when I was walking your dog because my homework ate it.
I got dressed for this? Half dressed. Put some pants on, man.
Hey, so, how's my nose look?
Oh!
Detours! Are you ready for the ribbon-cutting ceremony?
Man, will I be happy when we can stop pretending this thing's a mall.
This is no space mall. This is more like some kind of a Death
Star.
Is the
Emperor?
Yes.
I like the sound of that.
Aha! This is the ploy. No. It's a ruse. No. It's an ambush. No. A subterfuge. No. A confining device. A snare. A box popped up with a stick. It's a frap.
Oh, is that Cad Bane?
Where's my hat? It's a trap. Sorry. Just finally figured it out. On my way back to the office. Couldn't get it out of my head. Gotta go. I'm double parked.
Hey! Oh!
For luck. Oh, it's a matte painting. They haven't finished this chasm yet.
I guess they went over budget.
Don't make me take your arm off, Sonny. Old Ben needs grocery money.
Can you just order me a hot dog?
Shouldn't you be haunting Darth Maul or Yoda? Go haunt Yoda!
Taxi, why everybody hate me so?
Well, how honest do we want to get?
I do appreciate them bringing back on my desk for that.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Sid. A commercial audition, really?
Wow, Leia, you look really...
Amazing. Yeah, I know. Why are you staring at me? Yeah, I'm famous and hot. Deal with it. I don't feel like the center of attention anymore. Fix that.
Vader! Nothing says vacation over quite like seeing you again, you big-breathed bummer.
Welcome back, my master.
I just want to know why her boyfriend
Well, let's just say
looks
there wasn't a
like
cloud in the
Marty
sky,
McFly.
which was confusing since it was raining chicks.
Who's that? She's pretty.
Well, Leia, that is Queen Amidala. Great politician, terrible taste in fashion and makeup and hair and men, and bad judgment in just about every area of her life except for politics. She's dead.
I'm not. R2! Nobody's talking to you, trash can. Wait, do you not get it, people? His name was Windu, and he went out a window, huh?
Good. Like
That joke was hilarious, and you all liked it.
Hello, I'm a fool for dancing, and you're a dancing fool. Hit it!
I'd like to see them do something like with, like if they tried to do, not do a new Detour, but like in the same way that they paired with, Sunrise and Green. I'd love to see them pair like Morgan with Van Harmon or something.
Yeah.
All my troopers at the party say yeah!
That's pretty great.
Boy, the service here is slow.
We haven't even ordered.
I know, that's what I mean. It would be good to order already.
I know, that's what I was saying.
Oh, I thought you were disagreeing. Yeah, it would be good to order already.
Zito! They even had a Facebook page. Look at that.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, they had.
Listen, I actually just want this just because I love Seth MacFarlane doing the voice of the Emperor. He's hilarious. When
And they brought back. Well, I know as far as because you see Boba and Lando in one scene. They have I know Breckin Myers playing Boba, but they actually had Billy D. Williams, as far as I know, as Lando.
Yeah, you could tell a lot of the Robot Chicken alum. Like, you could tell which ones are like
that's why McFarlane's there.
Yeah, like McFarlane, Breckin Myers, Seth Green, most likely like Dax Shepard. A lot of the like Rachel Lee Cook would probably pop up quite a bit.
Out of Brent is definitely.
I mean, there's a lot of Robot Chicken peeps in that one, and I don't know why. Like, it's funny. That's really funny.
I know, but I think more than anything else, it just doesn't jive with what Disney's doing.
Drop it on Hulu. Just drop it on Hulu.
And I agree. And I don't think that was even like offensive or anything. It's just like I think it's just like an ethos thing.
Can we start like a letter writing campaign to get that shit out there? Because like at this point, why not? Like what do we got to lose?
Hashtag release Star Wars Detours.
Yeah, there we go. That could be the next mission. That sounds fun.
And,
I remember when it was.
Again,
I remember.
Well, again, it's like something else. Sorry, I didn't interrupt everybody. But it's also something else that's like, again, like the Snyder Cut was largely done, So it probably wouldn't need that much, or if anything, to just drop it on a platform,
Yeah, I remember when it was announced it was like one of George Lucas's last passion projects that he was behind. So that's why there's so many scripts and stuff and so many episodes done.
I would like to see. I would like to read some of the scripts for.
I loved hearing
Underworld because
I'd be interested in that too.
Because they wrote like so many. I think they wrote like 50 episodes. Or no, 100 episodes. Yeah, like I would like to see them turn that in like an audible radio drama or something, or
even adapt some of it. Like I think now, with the tech they have now and with the volume, like with Stagecraft and stuff like that, I think you could probably at least get, even if you want to do like a mini series or something, like an event series, I think you could do it. But
whoever the next CEO of Lucasfilm is, we got to petition that person. It's probably going to be Kathleen Kennedy for 3 more years.
Well, considering Chapek even said during Investor Day, like, we expect her to be around for many years to come, unless she decides not to stick around.
Yeah,
I genuinely think they're going to renew her contract.
Well,
for
do you
5 years.
Do you guys think that she would stick around just as like a fuck you to like all the haters on YouTube?
Yes,
I don't. I think it's possible, especially. I think it's possible, but like, I don't think. I think if she sticks around, I think more than anything else, it's probably because Favreau and Filoni have continuity with regards to working with her as an exec and just having that kind of continuity as they're going through building out a franchise. Even if they like get to the end of the series that they've announced, probably in the next 5 years after this, like assuming she renews, probably after she renews this time, then she'll go. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Really quickly though, for out of print, the Star Wars Detours has like 36 episodes completed and another like 64 scripts written or something like that. So it's around like they would have like about 100 episodes. I mean, because the thing is, once they got it done, it would then end up like they could easily go back into production and like get this shit off the ground again. And I don't know why they don't. I get like the whole corporate synergy aspect of it or whatever. Like, how can you market that? How can you make money on that? You know, like, could you sell merch on Detours? And I honestly think something like that would show that Star Wars can be funny, and you know, like,
and also considering we've also taken steps into releasing non-canon material. You know, you look at the Vintage Collection on Disney Plus. You look at the fact that Visions is effectively definitively non-canon. You look at them reissuing a bunch of older Legends books under what they're calling the Legends Essentials Collection.
Non-canon stories.
Yeah, I really thought. Well, when I heard that the vintage stuff was coming out, like I literally thought I thought Detours was going to be in on that. I was like,
heck, they put in, what was it? What do they call it? The Tale of the Faithful Wookiee, the animated part of the holiday special in there.
Yeah,
which is honestly the only actually good part of the entire special.
Oh god,
they just, I mean, like I don't know like what's stopping that. Like, you know, if I could find a way to like reach out to Kathy, I'd be like, hey,
if you guys
I mean, well, actually, I'll tell you this though. I actually know how to reach out to her. I do. It would take a little bit of time to get, but because it would require writing a letter, like a handwritten letter, but I know how to get it to her.
Oh, so like you would physically
physically write a letter and send
like
it.
You would have to wind up at Lucasfilm.
No, I mean, I know how to get it directly to her, or at least to her assistant. I would know how to do that, but it's like how would that ever like play out sort of thing. Now hold on here. Okay. Bradley here asks, who do you guys think could run Lucasfilm after Kathleen Kennedy? I know
somebody that we don't even know.
Well, Zeros here says Dave Filoni would be my pick. No, because this is the thing. What you got to realize is you have to running Lucasfilm is not just running Star Wars.
It's the business side.
It's the business side of it as well.
Current position, Filoni's current position is exactly where I wanted him to be, because I had speculated a while ago on the lounge. I'm like, they should create like a chief creative officer, and they effectively have that between him, Chang, and Doug Chang and John Knoll. And I'm like, well, those are three guys I want to run Star Wars anyway. So
yeah,
honestly, I don't know who I'd want to do it. I mean, like, who? It's a really interesting question. Who's got that kind of movie making experience, and also who else has seen the other business side of it beyond the creative? Because you need to look for that too, because like you've mentioned more than once, you know, it's not just Star Wars, it's not just indie. They also own ILM, they also own Skywalker Sound, they also own all of these other businesses. Like ILM got spun off into not spun off, but they have like not just a visual effects thing, they have the ILMX lab, which is like their sort of virtual reality stuff. And so they have to be able to look at all of these aspects of the company, right?
No, I completely agree with you. I completely agree, and I'd love to see them actually get, whoever.
No, I'm just laughing because Shifty gives him recommended Reggie.
Oh, Reggie Fils-Aimé?
Yeah.
Fuck it, dude. I mean, do it.
The guy was the CEO of GameStop for about 9 months or 6 months.
He was on the board. He was on the board. He stepped down after the whole GameStonk situation. Yeah. But no, screw it. Reggie, I think Reggie could do something. Reggie could understand the business and also catering to the players. And Reggie is also really good at like being a hype guy, but being a realistic hype guy. Because everyone loves Reggie. Because you need a face of the company. Like Kathy is like, she's a face, but it's not necessarily like the best. If they brought in like someone like Reggie,
I'm not lying. I would actually, if I found out once they're physically able to do like investor stuff in person, if Reggie ever gets elected, I'm not joking, as the next president CEO of Lucasfilm, I will genuinely buy stock just to find a way to go to the investor thing to see, like, with my own eyeballs, holy shnikey, Reggie runs the company.
Yeah. Hold on. Andrew here asks, who else gets the sense that Lando Calrissian has broken up a non-trivial number of marriages? I'm pretty sure he's swindled a couple of wealthy widows to boot too.
If you guys want to have some fun, over on the Blue Bantha Milk Company YouTube channel, they have a series they're starting called the Calrissian Chronicles, and basically what it is was they fed a bunch of Star Wars scripts and prose into AI, and they're having it spat out as far as like a Lando sort of personal journal, and they're having Chris Ryans, who co-hosts Broaxium, read it as Lando, and with a recording is his first impression. So like if he cracks, it's in there. It's actually really funny. I highly recommend it.
Oh wow. Did you guys happen to hear that Kessel Run Transmissions is closing down? They shut down?
What?
Yeah, well, I'll get to that here, but Andrew here, I love this. You're broken up a non-trivial number of like what?
I can believe it.
Non-trivial. I just love the way you phrase that, man. That's great. That's awesome.
Not even non-zero, just like it's been a lot.
He's, you know what? Yeah, he's definitely like slayed his way through a few things. Yeah,
like if they ever did make, obviously, hashtag make Solo 2 happen. If they ever made Solo 2, I could see like, Han walking down or not even down the street, but like, maybe just have like a random non sequitur of just like, maybe he's with Leia or something going, I wonder what Lando's up to. And then like, cuts to Lando getting thrown out of a building or something. Stay away from my wife.
Yeah. Like the opening of, what is it? Three Musketeers or whatever.
Oh,
yeah, real quick. I'll just bring this up because people are like, no, about Kessel Run. I kind of asked around a little bit about this, and I don't, no one has given me like a direct answer, but this here, KRT has decided to wind things down recently. We appreciate everyone's kind messages to us and the years of support. This was a mutual decision between the three of us. Thank you all again. We love you. And, so it's like, that's a big,
what's the personal reply at the bottom there? Like right after that.
I've been doing this for 8 years, and the support and kindness from this community will never be lost on me.
Oh, nice.
Thank you all, Corey. Here's what I think. Here's what I kind of found out about this was, generally speaking, like I think the three of them kind of all lived together in, like in an apartment, right? And it's like it just to share costs, but their Patreon like barely got in anything. I mean, I think I make more on Patreon, and I never push it, And their YouTube channel was kind of dead. I don't think they were pulling in the advertising money to really kind of keep themselves going. And as much as it would be great to like talk about Star Wars 24/7, there are droughts. Yeah. I mean, like if you're going into like the
even like Alex Damon has talked about publicly on Star Wars Explained about how there are lull months in Star Wars content. So is Eck, and so have all the big guys, and so like it's not surprising.
So and Star Wars Explained has a big channel, and they do live streams, and they'll do like,
and they have a lot of other stuff, and they have the connection, the old Schmodown connections that they keep, and so they have other ways to kind of monetize.
Yeah, and I think Kessel Run, like I like them too. Like they broke. Well, what is it? They talked about the Lando TV show, and then I was the first YouTuber to break that story, long time before they did, but I never got no credit. But no, I got it from Mikey Sutton. He hooked me up with the story, so I ran it. And but yeah, I mean, like I feel bad for them, but it's like if they were, again, running YouTube is difficult, man. Like, why do you think I do? Yes. Why do you think I deliver food?
Yeah. I
mean, like last week food delivery was dead. Oh my god, it was so bad. But last night it was pretty good. Tomorrow night will be pretty good. And I'm like, all right, great. And then like I do this nightly, and I pull in what I can get here. And, and I appreciate all that stuff, but like the last couple nights, even doing this, I'm not complaining. This is just a reality. I made, I think $14 on Tuesday and $17 last night after YouTube takes their cut.
Yeesh.
You know what I mean? And so it's like, ooh, right. But at the end of the day, it's like, I'm not, you have your good days, you have your bad days. You can't freak out about that.
It's the nature of the
system. It's the nature of the industry. It's the nature of the business. And so, but if you put all your eggs in one basket, and Lord knows I've done that, and Lord knows I'm still dealing with some of that stuff to an extent. But it's like and this is why I feel bad, is because like they thought they had something, and they do have something, and they probably shouldn't back away from it, but they might have to stop and go, how do we afford to do this? And the idea, maybe like right now everyone's hiring. It may not be great work, but there's jobs, If you need it, there are jobs available. You can get a job being a contact tracer. With the new Delta variant, you can get work with the government and start doing all that stuff, and that's a factor. That's a thing. I don't know. It might also be internal drama killed the show. That's usually, if you live with people that you work with, if you live with your co-hosts and you live in a house like that, especially during a year of lockdown, I mean, you
probably get sick of each other.
I will say this real quick was in perfect response to your struggles, H. Bart's with the $2 super chat.
Here's some boy. Thank you. Thank you, H. Bart's. I appreciate you. Yeah. Alvi here says, I like Star Wars only. I don't care for Star Wars theory. You know what? He would agree with you. The thing is, it's like, I love talking Star Wars. I've thought about doing like a weekly show, because there's stuff you can usually accumulate enough stories within a week to cover some stuff or to have topics of conversation. But then again, I like doing the nightly stuff and just talking to people and everything else. And so that's a lot of fun for me, just to kind of have those conversations and see where things go. Cause I wanted this to be like an hour and a half in here, just 2.5 hours.
And if you ever do decide to do something weekly, just DM me and I can definitely see if I can make some time and we can do something with that.
Yeah. Well, my goal, again, I've been very open about this. My goal would be to turn Hollywood After Dark into something where it's like
that's the nightly thing, and then everything else is on
the nightly thing. Yeah. But if I can get like enough of a consistent earning, and it's not even like really like that much. Like if I was making like $800-900 a month, that would cover my half of the mortgage and that would generally be okay. I could then I could do it earlier because I wouldn't have to go out driving as much.
Okay.
And like the goal would be to become self-sufficient, self-sustaining with it and everything else. And, and that's kind of the goal for a lot of us here on the platform. But my whole take on it is like, I just want to have the conversations and chill out with everybody and hopefully bring value. But I'm always, and RJ knows this, I'm always struggling with like how to bring value. Mm-hmm. It's like, how do you provide, how do you provide something interesting that people want to listen to like every day, but then also like still keep up with it, that's not just like hammering over the same topics.
I know, and especially considering, and that's always an issue I have, because like I said, I'm not a contributor. I mean, I'm a regular panelist here, and I'm thankful for it. I'm a regular panelist over on the Point Extra Lounge, but a lot of the places I go to, it's like I'll go to talk with Enosh for an hour and a half about the news. And I'm not saying this to be disrespectful, like it'll happen. And then like you'll put up a video and you're effectively talking about the same thing, because it's like, it's such a slow news day and there's such a crossover.
Yeah. That's the problem. It's a crossover. Yeah.
There's such an overlap that it's so difficult to try and find your own niche in that thing.
Well, and there's also,
even if it's movie news, right?
Well, yeah. And the thing with that is too, is like, look at like Enosh will start streaming at like midnight his time, which is 9 my time. I'll go for like at 11 my time, which is when I'm available to do it. And then like there's times where I'll wrap up and then like he'll still be live for like another 2 hours.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then we kind of split both of our audiences that way. And I've noticed that like there will be people over in his stream that will then bounce over to my stream and then bounce back afterward.
Case in point, as RJ can vouch, I left. I was there for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. I left. I came here. I then went back and we were on for another hour after that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was here the whole time yesterday, and like to put that in perspective. And then I came back and I was like, what? That's another discussion for the back room.
Oh no, totally. Well, that's kind of the whole issue. Is like I like to look at it more like from like I don't mind. There's no shade at Enosh or whatever. Like
of course not. I'm not trying to say that either.
I know people. Well, I know people that have played that time slot bullshit. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
And there's people that are like, no, like 9 p.m. is my time. It's my time. Like you don't go on my time. Yeah. And there's people like, I think in the Fandom Menace that have done that. Like that was one of Mecha Random's complaints about Nerderotic, was that she would go live and then he would just go live at the same time. And she believed that he was doing that as a way to crush her channel because they share so much of the audience and he's so more popular than she is, that all of her audience would flock over to him because he's more interesting, and then they would leave her alone. Yeah. And
I'm like, with the respect to my time thing, the only thing I would say is, honestly, if you guys And I'm not saying even do this with the people you sort of stream around. I'm just saying I think what that would probably serve a community better would be, at least for some of the creatives, to kind of like the content creators, to sit down and just kind of go, well, what works for you? I like it for the more flexible people, in the sense of like, Hollywood After Dark works at 11 p.m. because it works for you, and you kind of have to work on that structure. But other people, if they're more flexible in their time, maybe could move of their own volition, but not be asked, but kind of, you know what I mean? Like not in sort of an angry way, but just trying to kind of help space it out for the sake of the audience.
Well, and that is very true. The audience definitely matters. Now, the thing is, a couple of years ago, when like you could argue like internet blood sports was kind of at its prime, and those are the people that generally came after me pretty often. But I'll give them credit. I as much as they're all assholes, I give them credit for their organization, because there was one guy who would do like 4 hours in the morning from like 10 till 2 p.m. Pacific. And he would be out there and do like the morning show. And then there would be another guy that would do like a 6 to 8 p.m. And then there would be someone else that does like 9 p.m., And so they do 3 shows consistently, generally Monday through Friday. And so the audience all day long would have access to like at least people talking about relatively the same topics, and keeping people up to date with what's going on as the day progressed. Which and the thing is, when it comes to movie commentary,
it functions like a 24-hour news channel.
And it was very profitable for all 3 entities. I'm not even making that up. Like, I've seen some of the stuff that's come out of that, and it's like, oh my God, we're talking like 5 figures.
Yeah.
Right. Like in a month. And like, yeah. And that was just through super chats, not including any kind of Patreon, any kind of Streamlabs, or any kind of merchandise sales either. So it was like there was money that was going through there. But the problem with movie commentary is that evolving stories don't happen very often. So
you cover the topic when it drops, and that's it.
Yeah,
that's kind of like for me, like personally, like I've like. I'm a brand new channel of it, and like trying to like discover my identity. It's like, well, I know Marvel very well, right? Like, and that's something I can focus on as like part of the identity of my channel. It's like, if you want to know Marvel stuff, I'm the guy to go to. Like, that's kind of like the identity I formed for myself. Now I won't talk about other stuff too, but it's like,
yeah, but it's like I know I can go there. I know I can go to your place for Marvel. I can go to Pop Culture Corner for Marvel. I can go to Point Extra Lounge for DC. I know I can go to Lightcast for Star Wars.
Exactly. It's like me trying to carve out a specific niche.
Yes, and I respect that. It's great. Like you have, what is it, Mary Marvel Movie News. I mean, you know what you are, you know what you want to do, and I respect that.
Yeah, so that won't cover DC stuff too, or other stuff too. It's just like that's like the focus I've found that works for me.
Well, I mean, it's like, I want to cover I cover Marvel. I cover kind of a wide variety of things because I find it a lot to be interesting. There's a lot that goes on that there's a lot that goes on that I find to be fascinating in Hollywood, because I read the trades, and it's not just like the main trades. I'll read like the sub blogs.
No, that's why I think your channel is great for like going into deeper stuff in Hollywood, like those sites, like the stories that like aren't just like the fan stuff, like not just the comic book movies or like the sci-fi stuff with the big blockbusters. It's other stuff too.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting little things that come out of that one, and it's always interesting to see, because honest to God, like a lot of this stuff doesn't end up going anywhere, to be honest with you. Real quick here. Okay, I just want to get to these ones here. HBART's $2, the Matt Sharpo experience. Yeah, right. No, I would need a producer for any of that kind of stuff here. I see that. Thank you very much. Okay. And then, Andrew, $5. Thank you very much, man. A weekly walkthrough Legend era Star Wars might be worth considering.
What's interesting is there's a channel. I'm not trying to take this away from you, but if you like, if Andrew, if you're looking for any sort of Legends content like that, I recommend TapCaf Transmissions. What they've been doing is they've been working their way through, on a series of live streams, have been working their way through the history of Legends prose material. So if you do want something like that, there is still a place for you, even if Matt's not providing it as yet. He may someday soon, but at least it's.
It's so difficult for me to find time to watch literally anything. And
especially with like what TapCaf are doing, it's literally they're going through Legends prose material. I mean, it's when you're going through book after book after book, that takes a lot.
I know. I actually, honestly, I many years ago, not many years ago, I think like 2015.
Yeah.
I wanted to start something that was like a Star Wars book club, right? Yeah. And no, really, I really did.
I'm just laughing because effectively Disney have done it themselves. You know, the official Star Wars YouTube channel does have a Star Wars book club.
Oh yeah, no, I know, I totally, but I came up with the name, Twin Sons Book Club was the name of it, and I was gonna do a channel, and then I was just gonna go through Star Wars books, the new canon, and then like, you know, chapter by chapter and give my thoughts on it, and then just kind of build up from there. But then I sat down to start kind of working on it, and I just like, oh my God, I just don't have the time to do this on top of literally doing everything else that I do YouTube wise.
And especially that was 2015 for you, considering.
And that was,
I've been a follower of you for that long. I know exactly, I know what you were doing then. And
I was doing temp work. I was doing temp work down in Portland.
And not just temp work, but also your YouTube content was effectively like nowhere really near that. I mean, sure, like you had 3 Buck Theater to an extent, but like, you know what I mean? Like it was so much more focused in a very different place. I think it would have been tough to kind of maybe break out in that respect.
Oh, man.
I don't think RJ is a variant of Anna, but
I'm not. I am not familiar. I am not familiar.
I just got that. I thought you meant Anna the Star Wars girl, not Anna Underhaven.
Why do people think we're the same? I don't understand.
I don't know. You both have female avatars, I guess.
I guess so.
I don't know.
Marvel related. It makes sense for the brand.
Yeah. Anna's is an original creation, 100%. And then holding here, and then but HWAD here makes a great point. Hard to balance between you and Enosh. Yeah, I know. I know. It's one of those things where it's like, it's difficult. But
I'm laughing because it was like last night. Was it last night where you said you came up to pick up H-Parts for your scheduled visit? You know,
I just thought that was funny.
It's funny. It is.
I just thought that was funny. Yeah, like you know, and then I guess
found it funny too. You know,
he said something, but like I had like something. I got my attention for a second, and I didn't hear it, and I was like, all right, whatever. Here you go. Min here says, still waiting for Matt to finish his Last Jedi novelization.
That's a throwback right there.
Yeah. I started reading
the work on that.
Yeah, I was going to read the book of The Last Jedi, the novelization, because
just to see if
what was different. Yeah, because in the first chapter, and I think I did like 2 chapters of it. It's so like I know I start things and then like I don't fucking like I don't finish everything, which is unfortunate. And that's just because like I believe I have adult ADHD. Like I really do.
Possible.
I think I do. And because I get like, I'm also a night owl. And that's another thing I was reading too, is that adult ADHD really impacts people who aren't for the night because there's less distractions. And it's like in the daytime, like today, for example, I woke up at 7 a.m., watched my kids until I took them down to my dad's house at like 11. And then we played until about 3. And then I came home, we had dinner. And then like I wrote the Podio commentary, but stopped kind of to go and hang out with my kids and draw and stuff. And then put them to bed, came out, finished it, and then came over here and did this. You know? And so it's like, there's so much going on in the daytime. I cannot focus. That's the problem.
From what I've seen of the novelization, it's like there is substantive stuff, like the opening of the novel and the fact that it basically wrote the deleted lesson into the narrative, because you know Luke says he's going to give Rey 3 lessons, and they only showed 2 in the film. The third. Well, no, I'm not saying that to be funny. Like, it was what happened.
There was also no funeral for Han Solo, which was something that was supposed to be in the movie.
Yeah.
Because they had talked about that.
That should have been in the damn movie.
It should have been in the damn movie.
I agree.
And it's like they had it in the novelization.
Much as I like that movie, they should have put it in.
And well, they had it in the novelization. And the novelization, it was just like right before the attack on the base, Leia was holding a little wooden carving that Han had made for her years earlier, and she like set it down and
it's just why was that not in the movie?
Yeah, it was like a little thing like she could have was given him and whatnot. It should have, honest to God, it should have been the fucking dice. It should have been the dice. She should have been holding on to the dice, and then Luke would have also like when he came back, like Luke should have had the dice like to indicate that he's a force ghost or whatever, or Force doppelganger. I don't know. Should have been something, but they didn't give us any closure on there. And even J.J. Abrams made the mistake of having Leia hug Rey instead of hugging Chewie. And when Han died, and like a lot of people got really mad at J.J. Abrams for that. And he even admitted the mistake because Rey was the main character. And so Leia hugging Rey was meant to be Leia hugging the audience. But no, it's like, that's why they gave Chewie the medal in
even
number
though
9.
Yeah, well, I'm glad they gave that kind of tribute to Han, because for those who don't know, who are not aware, that is actually Han's medal. It's not Chewie's medal. Chewie in a comic miniseries did actually receive his medal at the ceremony. He just sort of felt it was as a warrior, as a Wookiee warrior, it just didn't jive with his cultural beliefs, so he effectively just kind of didn't care about it. The reason why this had sort of substance in that context was because it was Han's, and it was something to remember him by.
Okay, and I enjoyed that he got the medal in that.
As did I. I thought it was very sweet, and just because I'd read the Chewie comics, so I knew about the medal.
Yeah, it's good. It's definitely I there was a lot of nostalgia in that movie, even though kind of other things weren't that great.
I know your opinions on it. You've
Anyway, okay.
Not the Last Jedi talking again.
No. Because it's been about 3 hours. I'm going to close this thing out because I do have to
you and I are going to go watch Bad Batch at some point.
I may not. I might just go to bed. I'll just watch it in the morning. Although I will say this though, if anyone here hasn't watched the Monsters at Work stuff yet on Disney Plus, watch Monsters at Work. It's really funny.
I'll probably watch it this weekend.
It was really good.
It's really good. Like it's super Pixar. It's super Monsters. It's super good.
And I was going to ask, does it feel like a Pixar movie or does it feel like a spin-off animated show like from the 90s?
It feels a bit like kind of both.
Kind of both. Yeah. It feels a bit like both.
They did bring back John Goodman and
Billy Crystal and Jennifer Tilly.
Yep.
And the voice of Roz. And a lot of the other. It basically picks up like.
It's like a couple of weeks after or something.
No,
right?
like the next day.
Oh, nice.
Like it's like literally it picks up the next day after.
The first episode is the big boss guy getting arrested, basically.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it takes place right after, like the next day after the first movie ended. So before they've been able to, like they know laughter works, but they're like now trying to figure out like how to make it work and like how to teach everybody comedy.
It's kind of I would imagine for to an extent for the audience, it would be like kind of a way to also explain for the audience moving away from a non-renewable to a renewable resource. I think is probably another sort of message I think that could be conveyed.
Sure. It's actually I never thought of it from that perspective. That's a very good point. But I will say this though, in regard to Monsters at Work, there's a lot of references to Monsters University like right off the bat.
Oh, so it's kind of I actually haven't seen Monsters University, so I do need to.
Monsters University is really good. I don't give a shit what anyone says. I love that movie.
I liked it too. Matt, real quick, but I know you're a big 4K fan. Did you see the announcement of the first, I think it's 4 or 5 Halloween movies in 4K?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I brought up the picture of that the other night, and like those things look terrible.
The transfers or just the
no, the box art looks terrible.
Oh, okay.
The transfers looked like for the Halloween. They're doing Halloween 1 through 5 again, but they're not doing Halloween 6. It's like okay. Or H2O or 8, or what 9? Was it 9 the one where Jamie Lee Curtis dies?
Some of them are owned by other companies
that would make sense. That would make sense. Yeah. Plus, I mean, they should do number 6 because that was also Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd was in number 6.
The extended cut of 6 is much better too. So
okay, I've only seen it one time, and I rented it when it came out on home video. So I need to go back and check it out again. Because the thing is, like, look, I think I'll get like Halloween 1 and Halloween 2 in 4K. They definitely Halloween, but maybe 1 and 2 because those are the Carpenter ones. And then other than that, like, I know people are going to probably go for Season of the Witch just because it's like that was Wes Craven, and that was George Romero.
It's the best. Honestly, it's the best of the Halloween franchise, in my opinion.
I've never seen Season of the Witch.
I've not either.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never seen Season of the Witch.
Shame on all of you right now. Shame.
Well, hey, we're coming up. Look, it's July right now. All right, we're going to be coming into the fall here very quickly. It's going to be horror season abound. You know, there's a lot of good stuff to watch. I mean, there's a lot of shit on Shudder that I haven't seen that looks pretty fantastic.
Okay, we need to do a watch party some night of if we could find it on streaming of Season the Witch, because that one is amazing. You have to see.
You know what, we could do it in the Discord. I could probably get my hands on a copy of it. We could do it in the Discord and then just stream it through that.
That sounds amazing.
So
yes,
that might be something. That might be something that might be a patron only sort of thing or a member only sort of thing for right now, just because it's like, you know, it's a bit on the subversive side.
I'm on social security. I don't have that much money.
No, I don't know. I might just do it for fun. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, there's a lot. I know friends of mine that like, I have a friend of mine who runs a nightly show but he lives alone in New Hampshire. And so he's got nothing to do afterward. So he just hangs out in his Discord like all night long. And I get it. The guy, he fucking hates New Hampshire. So he is just like, he hates it all. Okay. Yeah. We need to do watch parties. I know. HWAD still watch parties. We got it. I know. Yes. Then, hold on here. Okay. Andrew here, another $5. Thank you. Says, and let us not forget when he got his medal at the 1997 MTV Movie Awards. I don't remember that personally because I didn't have cable television at the time. But you know what?
I was about 3 years old, so I definitely wouldn't have remembered it.
Okay. Oh, and Elsa here says that Chewie got the medal in the New Hope novelization as well.
And that's Legends.
That's yeah. I mean, like, you know, but hey, come on. At this point, you know, it's all about the multiverse.
Yeah. Well, either way, well, if we're talking about the New Hope novelization, Disney, please make sure you're paying Alan Dean Foster and keep paying him for it.
Yeah, please pay your damn authors, please.
Yes.
Yeah, and then pay me because I'd like to write for you. But all right, guys, we are gonna wrap it up on that point. I'd like to thank you everyone who's been listening. You know, we've had a fun ride. 3 hours goes by super fast, and I'll be back on again tomorrow night. Hopefully, having seen Black Widow, and if I can Tomorrow War, I'll try. But if you guys are waiting for, again, Tomorrow War Podio commentary, will be up on Podio commentary on YouTube very soon. And tomorrow's probably in like the early morning it'll be up. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for coming on by, and we'll definitely talk again soon. Have a great one, and peace.